Welcome into View from the West podcast instant reacts for the quarterfinals. The results are in, the semifinalists are in, or in 8-man's version, the championship game is set. We'll get into all of it here in the next hour and 30-ish minutes. You never really know how it's all going to play out, but, we'll just kind of go with the flow here. Mitch Stormer in on the call. We got Shimdog here. We got Kyle Kampmeyer. We have Jeff Boyer, the head coach of the Byron Tigers. He is trying to get some video. We got some video for Coach here. There we go.
All right, you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can see you. We can hear you. Coach, looking good in that Byron orange there.
Yeah, I worn this for a long time.
All right. Well, hey, Coach, we're going to read through some final scores from today, and then we'll get to your game. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right. Well, Mitch, let's take us through kind of the news and notes from the day, the scores.
All right, let's start in 1A. Let's work our way up. In 1A North, you had the top seed Stockton defeating Dwight 44-0. That sets up a rematch with Lena-Winslow, who defeated Wethersfield 42-20 in their game today. We'll get to that matchup later on. In the South, you had Calhoun winning 28-21 over Casey-Westfield. They will take on Brown County, another big winner today for them, 37-13 over Carrollton. Going up into 2A, the 5-seed Wilmington continues to look really good, 49-7 over Downs Tri-Valley. They'll take on El Paso Gridley, who came away with the victory over Farmington, 32-15. In 2A South, it's Moreau Forsyth once again getting into a semifinal. They were 48-12 winners over Flora. They will take on Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond. They were 42-35 winners over favorites on this show to get into the 2A championship, Westville. In 3A with Coach Boyer, you had the top seed in Richmond Burton in a 31-6 win over Monmouth Roseville. They will take on Byron, who defeated IC Catholic 28-6 this afternoon. In the South, Cholono Unity beat top seed Williamsville 42-7, and they'll take on St. Joe Ogden, who defeated Vandalia 38-24. And real quick, I'll just go to 4A. You had top seed Lombard Martini defeating Cole City 35-0. They will take on Morris, who had a 2-point victory over the 6th seed Geneseo. In the South, Bree Central came away with the 36-12 win over Cahokia. They will get Rochester in the semifinal. Rochester, a 35-15 win over rival Sacred Heart Griffin.
All right, so there we go. There's the rundown. The game you mentioned in there, Mitch, Byron getting the win over IC Catholic this afternoon, moving on to the state semifinals. So we're pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Byron Tigers, Jeff Boyer. And, Coach, I got to be honest, I wanted to have you on a long time ago on this show, but it was every week I'd look, and you guys were on the road getting a win, and I thought, man, it's just going to be too hard with the bus ride and everything else, so I figured I'd save it for a home game. Well, no better home game than against IC Catholic in the quarterfinals. Tell me about kind of what you were thinking about going into this game, what were you planning on, and how the game played out for you.
Yeah, I mean, IC Catholic, we're pretty familiar with each other. We've matched up several times in the playoffs. Great program, well coached, great athletes. So, we knew it was going to be a dogfight, and it certainly was today. And, I just give credit to our kids for playing their tails off here today.
Yeah, it seemed like in that second half, you guys really, it was a close game, right? You guys were up, I believe, just one score, and you really had a long kind of grinded out drive where you converted several third downs. Take me through kind of that drive, and did you feel like momentum was really getting in your direction there, like you were really taking control of the game?
Yeah, I mean, we deferred to the second half, so we got the ball coming out at half, and we had a long drive that chewed probably the majority of the third quarter and ended up punching in for points. So, then it was 14-0, and I think there was a few minutes left in the third quarter. So that drive was crucial, for the win today, and our kids certainly, finished in the fourth quarter as well.
Coach, when it comes to a game like this, I mean, you've had this one circled, I imagine. I mean, us talking on this podcast have talked about it for a long time. We knew IC Catholic was going to be maybe the most the toughest opponent in this field outside of yourself. And I don't want to look too far ahead, just yet, but you knew this game was coming down the way. What was the message this week to, keep the kids in check and not get, too overhyped about it and too much into it because it's a home playoff game in the quarterfinals. There's a lot of emotion there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was business as usual. I think our kids they benefit from having the experience of being in these big games. A lot of these kids have been a part of the state championship team in 23, and several of them played in that game. So that's really helpful when we run into an opponent like IC Catholic. Our kids know kind of how this goes and how we need to practice and what they need to do to prepare and win a football game like this.
Yeah. Mitch, I know you had eyes on this one throughout the afternoon. What questions you got for Coach?
Certainly, Coach, congratulations, obviously, on getting back to the 3A semifinals and doing it and getting over this hurdle, right, of IC Catholic. You mentioned that you've seen them before in the playoffs. Certainly, you have been on the other end of this game in the past as well. So I'm just curious, in your game plan today, as things kind of unfolded, certainly, it's usually Caden who gets a lot of carries, but today you kind of relied more on Dawson and Cole. I'm wondering what you saw, whether it was something that IC Catholic might have been doing, or what in your offensive game plan led you to give maybe some more carries, or what led to Dawson and Cole having some more success on the ground today.
Yeah, so I actually looked at the stat sheet. Caden ended up with 18 carries, and then Cole and Dawson ended up with 10. And I think Talbert had maybe 10 also. So, we were very balanced, probably more balanced than we've been the entire year in the backfield. But, I think part of that, you got to give credit to IC Catholic for, doing a good job of, taking Caden away. And, I think that certainly opened up other things in our offense when that happened.
Coach, talk through, this IC Catholic team and their offense. What were the keys for your defensive side of the ball? What were you looking at coming into the game? What'd you know that you'd have to capitalize on, and what worked for you today?
Yeah, so I mean, Bowen is a great player. He's only a sophomore, but All-State kid is a sophomore. He's got pretty much offers from every Big Ten school. We ended up playing a lot of zone here today. We didn't feel like we could match up man to man, but we felt like if we had a safety over the top, that would, give us the best chance. And all the credit in the world to our kids for executing a game plan, but also for the rest of my coaching staff and defensive coordinator Sean Constantine for having our kids ready to go. We're fortunate that we have the people that we have here at Byron working with these kids.
Yeah. Shout out to Sean Considine, huge supporter of what we do here. We really appreciate Sean. Kyle, you've been out and about. You've been following along with this one, and obviously you've been following Byron all year long. What questions you got for Coach?
Coach, obviously you had a big win against IC Catholic today, as we've already discussed. Were you expecting that kind of score separation at all, or was it just the way that the game and momentum was going for you?
It's so hard to tell going into a game like this because, several reasons. I think style of play is obviously very contrasting between us and IC. But also, the schedule they play it was different than the schedule we played. They play, in the Catholic League and had some great tests each and every week. And some of their scores, and some of the wins they've had were truly impressive here this year. So, I didn't really fully know what to expect. I did get a feeling that we could, move the ball and we had to be able to do that to stay in the game and have a chance to win. So, our ground game was on par here today.
Coach, I feel like you mentioned, your program is always business as usual, looking at the next week. So looking ahead at Richmond Burton, have you followed them at all? Have you watched them from afar? What do you know about them? And just talk about your team kind of refocusing and dialing back in now for the two most important games of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm well aware of the season they've had, and I know Mike Knoll, pretty well. Had conversations with him over the years, and he's done a great job there at Richmond Burton. They're a great team, and I know that we're gonna have to play well. And the message to our kids, after we were done playing today was, make sure we enjoy this for a little bit, but then it's right back to work, because we got a great opponent coming up here in Richmond Burton.
Yeah. Coach, Mitch just called out 7th time in 8 years that Byron is heading to the 3A semifinals. what speaks to that consistency, that high-end execution year in and year out? What do you accredit to that?
Byron's a great football town. I was fortunate. I was a Byron grad and played at Byron and, got a taste of what it was all about. And, now that I'm teaching and coaching, I'm back here at Byron doing, carrying the torch basically. And, I think the program, the foundation was laid, in the 90s with Everett Stein and Ben Dalton and Brad Miller that were coaching there. And, I think that has really paid off here, 30 years later with what we're doing here at Byron. And, our kids, this is just the expectation now. And it's not coming from me. It's not coming from the other coaches. The kids just expect to win. And that's kind of where our program is at. And, it's been a really good ride here.
Yeah. As a Byron grad, like you mentioned, games like today, atmospheres like today, you ever stop and pinch yourself and say like, man, this is awesome? Because I know it gets easy to get caught up in the X's and O's and the watching the film and the game prep. But you ever walk on the field and kind of just look around and take a breath and say, man, look what we're doing here?
Yeah, a couple things when you bring that up. We actually did a lot of stadium renovations here this summer, so we kind of flipped home and away, and then we have new bleachers on the home side. We have a new track. Just really awesome atmosphere. So Coach Lawler from Stillman, one of my guys that I really look up to. He's always told me, just take a minute to take it all in, take a look at it. So I kind of did that at the beginning. It was pretty awesome. But what gets me and what makes this, special for me and the part that keeps me coming back and doing what I'm doing is, after the game, when there's hundreds of people standing on our football field, giving hugs to our kids and taking pictures with the kids after their performance. I mean, that's what makes it worthwhile is I want those kids to have a great experience and have the same experience that I had when I was playing here at Byron.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. I'm really glad we brought in the Big Northern this year, and I'm excited for the coverage for years to come. And I'm excited for the next 2 weeks, Coach. I hope you continue to get the job done, and we could be covering you, that day after Thanksgiving. That'd be pretty cool.
I agree with you. We have a lot of work to do between now and Saturday, but yeah, that'd be a great thing.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Coach, it's been long overdue. I wanted to have you on all year. I'm glad it worked out tonight. Congrats on the win. Tell Sean Considine congrats on the win, too. Great defensive effort there. And, keep things rolling, Coach. We'll be in touch.
Hey, we appreciate the time, and you guys are doing a great thing here. Thanks for covering high school sports.
Yep, absolutely. All right, there you go. Thanks, Coach. That's Jeff Boyer from the Byron Tigers. They get the big win today over IC Catholic. And boys, we'll just kind of, start breaking it down. We got Zach Shimon here. Shimdog, you were there walking the sidelines in this one. Tell me about the game and the atmosphere and tell me all about it.
Yeah, I just got to give hats off to Coach. Him and his kids really kind of just kept grinding it down until they were able to break through on the scoreboard. It was a close game for the first half, and they were able to put together that drive in the third quarter that took, I think, 7 minutes off the clock and put them up by 2 scores. And I think that's really when the momentum really started to go their way.
I was going to say, it felt like I was listening to that actually between my drive from Kewanee to Geneseo, and it felt like that drive was kind of, as you're watching it play out or listening to it for me, you felt like IC Catholic was getting anxious, right? Like they couldn't get that third down stop they needed. They couldn't get the ball back, and time is slipping away, and they know that, they can't get the stop. You're right. It felt like momentum flipped on that one for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. And it did help that they were able to kind of take IC Catholic out of their rhythm throwing the ball. They were forcing a lot of scrambles and, kind of making them run the ball.
Yeah. I had heard a little bit on Byron's broadcast that it sounded like there were a few pretty significant missed opportunities for IC Catholic early in this one. They maybe had some balls that, some passes slipped through wide receivers' hands, or just different little things that they just missed capitalizing on some big plays.
Yeah, they had a couple deep passes over the middle that the passes were dropped.
Yeah, yeah. Kyle, are you housing some Taco Bell right now on the Instant Reacts pod?
That's a first.
Yes, I am.
Oh, I
had
love
to
it. I'm
make a run
jealous,
for the
man.
border, baby.
Oh,
man.
You know, Taco Bell, sponsor of the Instant Reacts podcast. Not a sponsor yet, but definitely could be. That's a good
Unofficial.
one. Yeah.
Live
So
Moss, baby. Live Moss.
Sticking on Byron, I was reading Jay Taft's article on the Rockford Register Star, and he had a great quote from Caden Constantine. He said, "We're back and we're not done."
Yeah.
So certainly he being injured last year, coming back now, and doing what he has been doing his entire career at Byron, and them starting to look like that team from a couple years ago, which I think is one of the best teams in Illinois history. It's certainly a high bar to get up there, but the way that Byron's been playing, I don't think they're at quite that level, but they're certainly getting there. Andrew Talbert had a great day, 2 touchdowns on the ground, added an interception late, kind of, wouldn't say it sealed it, but it certainly mostly ended it because I think it was about with 2 minutes left. So, yeah, this was a huge hurdle, I think, for Byron to get back into in the semifinals once again. And I know we'll talk about Richmond Burton here in a minute, but I believe Byron will win, but I think it'll be a very, very good game with Richmond Burton next week.
Yeah. So, Mitch, you mentioned it in the interview there with Coach Boyer. There's another running back getting some carries that had been injured early in the year or had not been active yet.
Yeah, that was the first time that I'd seen Cole Aiken's name mentioned.
Yeah.
It should have texted Tanner to see about that. But yeah, 10 carries, 118 yards, and a touchdown today. And Dawson Criddle, who certainly gets a lot of carries, he had 10 carries, 115 yards, and a touchdown today as well. So yeah, I mean, why not? Another weapon, right? If you can't get Talbert going, if you can't get Constantine going, you can't get Krill going, here comes Cole Aiken with 118 yards in a game against IC Catholic. So they're loaded, they're playing well, and again, here we go to the semifinals.
Yeah,
Yep.
Aiken came back in round 1 of the playoffs against Oregon.
Okay, yeah, there you go. They were talking about it on the broadcast a little bit. So, yeah, it's good. It's great. I mean, to add a piece like that in this time of the year. So, all right, we have another visitor here, another guest on the pod, Dan Pearson. I can't see you, but I know you're there.
Yeah, the camera's not going to let me access. I need to shave anyway, so you're okay. It's been a long day, right?
This is the ultimate irony that Dan Pearson, GOAT photographer, can't get his camera to work.
Well, Greg, full transparency, Greg bailed me out today. I bit on the blocking back, and I said, I got to have your vid, and he was there to bail me out, so I'm thankful for that.
I'm just glad I didn't have to turn to you and say, I also bit on the blocking back. I did, because I have plenty of times myself. So Dan Pearson here from FCA, proud, sponsor of the show here. We love it. Dan, thank you for all of your support over the year. And, of course, thanks for the great vid. Today, as it turns out, you were shooting Geneseo. I left Kewanee with my son. And truth be told, he had been he had a sleepover last night with a buddy of his. So he's falling asleep between Kewanee and Geneseo. But I'm listening to the game, and I kind of like slap him on the shoulder. I say, hey, we're going to make a pit stop real quick in Geneseo. We're going to catch the end of this game. And he mentioned, isn't Dan Pearson there? I said, yeah, that's even more reason that we should go. So Pierce, we'll roll the highlights here, but
okay, good.
I want to ask, kind of talk through kind of how the game played out from your perspective and what you thought going in.
Yeah, there it is. It was a huge crowd. The wind was a factor and stuff. Second play from scrimmage, you guys have said his name before, Jackson McAvoy. 79-yard touchdown run. Second play of the game.
And how is the magnet always on your camera? They run right at you every time. Look at that.
Well, I work for FCA. We call it God's favor. Okay.
So here's a huge play here. Another kid running right at your camera. So give us what was going on here.
Okay, so leading up to that, Geneseo was playing well defensively and stuff, and they had a stop. I mean, they were kind of bend, don't break. And then they stopped him probably at the 20. And then Morris had a scoop and score, ended up going up 14-6. They're at midfield with about 3 minutes to go, and this pick six came out of nowhere. And so that changed the game. Went for two, got stopped, 14-12 at half. And here's the best video of the day. This is Greg shot this. So that's there's a story right there. Ben Samoski's a freshman, so a star was born today. I think
Yeah.
I did a story on a guy. It was his little league football coach who's been coaching little league for like 50 years. I did it like 2 or 3 years ago, and Ben was a 7th grader then. His dad was on the '98 Geneseo team that made it to the semifinals. He was an all-state fullback / linebacker. He played at University of Chicago. And so Ben, last year as an 8th grader, won the state wrestling championship. And he, I hadn't seen him in a couple of years, and he looks like a senior. I'm sure you noticed that, And so
Yeah.
he got some touches, a few during the regular season, but they went to him over and over again because Mark Nelms is a kid I love. He's in our FCA leadership team that's at our house every Sunday night, and he had a pretty tough injury, and I just heard from him a little while ago. He's doing okay. So, but I mean, he was in a lot of pain. I saw him as he was getting put in his folks' car to go to the ER and everything, but he's doing good. But Ben stepped in incredibly, and they went to him.
Yeah.
Too, they saw something between the tackles today. I thought the edge got shut down pretty well by Morris, and you think about Morris, what even Geneseo's defense did. I mean, they put 63 on Metamora last week,
Yep.
So this one cut it to 2.
Yep.
And then at the other end, you shot the other end. Morris scored to go up 9 again, and then
here we go. Yeah. So
they drove down the field. McAvoy sneaks it in with 1:30 maybe, and then we saw this versus Rochelle, same bounce.
Yes.
It's going to happen again. And I don't know if you could see it from the angles above, but watch where the ball goes when it goes in the hands of the Morris player. It's out.
Yeah.
And so there's 2 Geneseo guys there and 1 Morris guy, and the Morris guy got it.
Yeah. I mean, just the bounce, and you see it go in the air, and exactly in real time, I thought, oh my God, they're going to get it. You felt like, I thought somebody put a hit on him to jar it loose, but it went up in the air, and man, it's just a game of inches, and they just can't quite get it. But,
go back 10 seconds, Craig, if you can.
Yeah.
And then you'll see, I think it's Weinzerl hits the guy, kind of pushes him back, and the ball just pops out.
Yeah.
Because Weinzerl's sprinting down.
Yeah.
And how many times did they practice that? And, they had one during the regular season. They went right down the middle and just shocked UT with a onside after a touchdown. And that was a epic last-minute win as well. So what a weapon their kicking game is, for sure.
Yeah. So talk to me, Pierce, big picture. You've been around a lot of Geneseo football teams. It feels like this run to the quarterfinals, albeit, it obviously it always ends a little shorter than you want it to, but this feels like a, kind of another turning point, right? Where there'd been a lull and things, a few years, I think 1 year was 3-6, and that was very un-Geneseo-like. And to have Furlong come in, you make the playoffs last year and get a win. Now this year to get a couple wins and make a quarterfinal appearance, to get this home game against Morris, to compete till the final whistle, it feels like another turning point in this Geneseo program.
Yeah, and I was thinking about it today when I was frantically editing to feed to Corey. I think they're back. I just think they thought, for years and years, even when I was in high school, we're going to win every game. We're going to be in a position to win every game. And they were huge underdogs, obviously, today, but they had a chance at the end, So it's just, I feel like the physical play and just committed to the Furlong way. We all know what an incredible defensive mind he is, and he's handed the steering wheel over to Coach Nick Verbeck, who played for Geneseo on a state team in 2013. He played college football and everything. He's the offensive coordinator, and he made some brilliant calls, and they're not afraid to take chances, things like that. I mean, they do, they know when to pop off the pass play. And I will say, Jackson McAvoy, he grew up big time since week 1. I mean, they could have folded it when they drew Rochelle in the first round. And I mean, they cut out, what they lose by 24 points or something like that. And so it's been fun to watch them develop. And, they brought up however many underclassmen for the playoffs. This is what it means. They didn't get to wear the stickers on the helmet, right? So yeah, you don't have that credibility yet, but it's kind of you earn it and everything. So, but I think the physical play, and that's over center, all of that too. That they're there, and like I don't know if you remember the week that they couldn't play Alleman, towards the end of the year, but they played like a kind of a JV game. It was freshmen and other players, and their quarterback. He's got a fun last name. I can't remember it. He looked good. He looked really good too. So it's funny because like even tonight, like Mark Nelms, the kid, said, I'm fine. He said, I'm ready to start winter workouts. So it's just like they're chomping at the bit, and it's hot again. The fans are into it. I mean, you drove through town, the signage and stuff. And there's I posted the video on my Facebook page, and some dude got on there and started chirping about some stuff. I deleted his thing because I hate that stuff. But it's fun to see, and they respect the game and everything, and they have a coaching staff with guys who love football, and they love their players too. So it's the family thing, the community thing is great, and that's what's been preached here since 1962.
Yeah. First lesson to be learned to anyone listening: don't chirp on Dan Pearson's Facebook page. He's got no time for it. He doesn't want your business, all right? So go take it elsewhere. Take it to Kyle Kampmeyer's page. He'll respond to you.
I don't know. Kyle kind of drilled me last week towards the end of the show, as I recall. I can't remember. Oh, use an old Lena-Winslow video.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So I tried to put up there, and I didn't get there in time. His punishment was going to be to cover the Wilton semifinal game. Have to go over to Iowa and cover football.
Yes.
Oh, Dan, come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm for the Beavers today.
They got beat. Sorry.
Oh, well, we had a fun shout out. Jeremy Castle, a loyal listener, says it sucked playing Geneseo in the early 90s, and it hurt. So there you go. There's a shout out to the old green machine from the 90s for sure. So
yeah, it's those are pretty epic times. Like there was a 90 team that got second. It got stopped on a 2-point conversion, and then they went back to back in 92 and 93. And that 93 team, I remember that team. Our good friend Nick Bull used to follow that team when he was like in junior high, and he obsessed over a couple of the players, and that may have been the best high school football team I ever saw that didn't win the state championship. They couldn't get it done in the last game. They were loaded. That was good. So it's fun to see, but I'm still going to watch the rest of the tournament here, and just excited, happy to see Byron advance, and just I think I sent you a message. I'm thinking about going on the Friday too.
I saw that.
My son-in-law lives down there in Bloomington. I should say my son-in-law, the wet dog. Matt
Langston.
So, so maybe we'll put the camera on his shoulder too. Get him back into it.
That's right. Yeah, you and Wet Dog stop by Illinois State Hancock Stadium Friday morning, and the gang who's all in this show right now will all be there. So
yeah, I don't know. I see a burrito as big as our head in our future there too. So.
There we go. Exactly. All right. Hey, Pierce, we appreciate you jumping on. I love hearing from you, and it was cool. I was glad we stopped by. I think my son was even glad I woke him up from his nap to stop in Geneseo. So.
Well, we were joking. It was a 3-camera shoot for a view from the west. I love that a lot,
Absolutely,
man. There's probably somebody taking still pictures for you too. Probably an artist rendition, I think.
Well, the funniest
part we don't trust like Mitch with a camera, as I recall from his interning days.
No, never.
So the funny part was I had Chase Schweigen, Cullen Schweigen's dad, and him and Cullen were both at the game in Geneseo. He got a video of me getting video of Geneseo. So it's, like layers deep here of the video being taken. So But
Hey man, we love your brand. I wish my camera was working. I'm wearing the hat you gave me too, so I feel bad about that. So I wore it
I
today.
love
I
it.
don't know if you noticed it. So
well, hey, show up to Hancock Stadium, wear the hat, we'll take a photo together, and it'll be amazing.
if I'm available, where should I go? Towards the north in the semifinals.
Ooh, Kyle.
One place. There's only one place to go, Stockton.
Yeah.
I think, my recollections of Stockton, and they may have fixed it, but years ago I shot a game up there, and the field was crowned so much that you could, from one side of the field, you could only see the top of the helmets of the players on the other side of the field. Great drainage, though, I will say.
Oh yeah, it was great drainage. Plenty
Yeah.
of mud bowls there. There's no doubt about that.
You were running
did fix that crown, though.
uphill. Yeah,
Yeah.
you ran uphill when you're going east and west.
Yeah, that was the old O'Boyle push right there. He would always
Yeah.
take the advantage in the second and fourth quarters back in the day.
Yeah.
They kind of leveled that out.
Yeah. I think
Awesome. Hey,
fine.
thanks for letting me join you guys. I appreciate it. I'll be listening. You'll be my soundtrack here. I got a couple things to edit tonight too, so you get us some good stuff.
All right. Always cranking it out. We love it. All right. Thanks, Pierce. We'll talk
You
soon.
bet.
Thanks, Pierce.
Take care. See you guys. Take
See
care.
ya.
Great work.
All right. Well, like we've heard, we got Kyle Kampmeyer from NUICfootball.com. We got Logan Swan from WIVC Football. Logan, welcome to the show, my friend.
Oh, what's up, guys? It's been a while.
Yeah, how we doing today?
It's been a good day. It was a successful day for me, that's for sure.
All right, well, there we go. Well, so Mitch, we read through the brackets here, but we got Hardin Calhoun getting the 28-21 win over Casey-Westfield. Logan, if you're here, tell us about the game, how it played out, how you felt about it.
I was a nervous wreck, I can tell you that, for most of it. Really, the first two drives of the game, it felt like it was going to kind of turn into a shootout. We drove down the field and scored pretty quickly. I think we scored with like 8 minutes in the first quarter. We forced a 3-and-out before that because we went toss and deferred. Casey's second drive, they went down the field, they scored, and we had an offsides before their extra point, so they went for 2, and it made it 8-7. And then after that, it kind of stalled out for a little bit. It was the second quarter kind of flew by, other than we had one drive where we scored pretty quickly, and then I think there was about 2.5 minutes to go, 3-ish to go when we scored, and Casey got the ball back. Might have been a little less than that, and they were driving down the field, and their quarterback, he was by far the best quarterback I've seen that we faced this year. I got to shout that kid out. To me, he was an all-stater in my book. I know he didn't get the award, an all-stater in my book. It was one of the more impressive performances I've seen from a quarterback at this level, from running, throwing, leading his team. So I want to shout that kid out. But got to midfield, and there was 30 seconds before this happened, and he kind of broke free and scrambled for a little bit. And right before we crossed the line of scrimmage, he found a guy who just snuck behind our safety there in the backfield and hit a touchdown for the win, or for the lead, make it 14-13 going to half. We went, third quarter goes by, we're down 20. They score coming out in the second half pretty quickly. If I recall, I think we went 3-and-out for our first drive, and they go up 21-13, and I get that pit in my stomach of, here we go. Let's see what we're made of. And we had a big boy drive there where we cut to 19-21, got the 2-point, and my guy, Kyle already knows where I'm going with this. My boy, my guy, Jack Good. We're on the 27-yard line. There's 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter on our 27. And we call a fake punt. And not only do we convert the fake punt, Jack, the punter, again, can't speak enough about that kid, gets us to the KC 40 to 30, somewhere in there. And we take the lead with 3:50-ish, 4 minutes to go, 28-21. I was like, man, we scored a little too quick there. After that, it was just making sure we held Casey out, and we did. We got the stops when we needed to. It was a great game. It was a great environment. I loved it. I loved the travel. I loved seeing new places. That's my favorite part of the playoffs.
Yeah. Kyle, speak on this one. This is a Casey-Westfield team that was grabbing a lot of headlines. Obviously, we've been following along with Hardin Calhoun, and we know about it, thanks to Logan and the WIVC, but it's a nice win here.
Yeah, no, it's a great win, Logan. Great job, buddy. You got the Hooners going crazy down there in Hardin, baby. But
big one coming up.
Should I share what you sent us at halftime?
Let's not. It was not. I was frustrated. I was frustrated specifically because of the touchdown before half. I was like, that sucks. But that was also, I gotta say, offensively, that was the most calm I've been for quite a while. I was like, we did a pretty good job on offense. There's a couple no real mistakes. It was just couple uncharacteristic defensive mistakes that I gotta say, which has been, it's good for us to battle through that. We haven't had, our defense has been really nails all year.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a great game. I obviously, out of all the 1A games, that was definitely the one I had pegged as being the biggest toss-up game. And we talked about it on the pod last week as well, because we both had said that Casey-Westfield was just like a lot of other teams. They returned a lot of starters. They got beat by the Metro East All-Stars last year, so you knew that them coming back, despite coming out of the conference that they're in, that they were going to be a tough challenge regardless. And they definitely proved it today. And, hats off to them for a great season. But, I'm glad to see that we have an all-NUIC WIVC semifinal going on.
I was going to say, that's great for the brand here across your podcast for sure.
I'm pumped for it. It was when the bracket broke, I was like, there's a good chance for this.
Yeah.
The shit talking won't start yet, but you can guarantee it's coming.
Give it a week.
Yeah, as you say, you're good for another round where you still got to play each other, and then, well, before we get into, we'll segue into Lena-Winslow and Stockton here, but this is a rematch with Brown County from Week 9, correct?
Yes, correct.
All right, and it was you guys getting the win, Hardin Calhoun getting the win 21-12. So what, I know it's early, but what's been the discussion with, the team, the coaches? What's kind of the thought here?
So I drove up separately. Me and my mom drove up, so I didn't ride the bus. But kind of looking ahead, I think we both teams know each other because we've already played each other this year. We're in the same conference. We played pretty often. We played them last year in Week 8. And I was pretty impressed with him, and I was really high on him this year, and my expectations of them were fair to assume that they'd be pretty good, and they're pretty good. I expect really a similar game kind of to the last one. The first half, we took that lead in the halftime 14-0, but that second half. And I said it this week with Kyle since that second half of Week 9, they have been a different football team. So I don't know what the over under is, but I would cash on the under.
Yeah,
I expect
it's going to be a low scoring game.
Yeah, I expect a hard nose, a hard hitting, just a great football game, a great 1A semifinal, in both respective brackets.
My boy Jared Hoots is going to dial up his defense. You watch.
He's had it dialed up since Week 9 of the second half. He's been, what they've done, once they've done since that point, I couldn't speak to more higher volumes of. I was really impressed with him last year, like I said. I remember talking to you guys about him last year, and then going into this year, I was really high on him. And, we, obviously, they had the 2 losses to us in Camp Point, but they avenged one of them already. And I was really high on them. I felt like going into that, like that could go either way, and it did. So they're a really talented football team. They're coached well. Coach Little, Coach Hoots, Coach Fulcher, and everyone there does a terrific job. So I'm going to enjoy this one for tonight, enjoy it a little more until tomorrow morning, and then probably about 4 o'clock is when I'll sit down and I'll start my little prep work for this week.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, well, let's take a look here at the other half of the 1A bracket. Lena-Winslow gets the win. Oh, that's the wrong vid. We already saw Geneseo. We already talked about that. All right, hang on. Technical difficulties.
It's hard to be the promoter and the engineer all at the same time.
Amen. Here we go. Lena-Winslow punches it in first behind Aiden Wild. They jump out early in this game. 8-0 first quarter. They go to it again, and actually the ball is punched loose. Now, interesting the way this played out. So they were about to jump up in 2 scores. Aiden Wild gets the ball punched out of his hand, but actually kind of falls on his back right on top of the football. So it gets dicey, right? Because where does that ball end up? Whose hands does it end up in? They fight around for a while. Watch the official. He dives in. He gets right in the... he gets right in here.
This is the good stuff here.
Yeah, he dives in. Eventually, they do end up giving the call to Anawan Wethersfield. The question was, did Aiden Wild cross the plane before he fumbled? It's very close. So, it didn't prove to be a touchdown there. Anawan Wethersfield couldn't capitalize on this turnover because a few minutes later, Lee Wynn gets the ball back. Guess who? Aiden Wild in the second quarter punches it in for the score. So they're up 16-0 at that point. Like I said, about 9 minutes left in the second quarter. Anawan Wethersfield looking for a spark. They find one in Maddox Heitzler. He's able to break through the defense. He gets the Titans on the board. They would miss the extra point. So it's 16-6 right there. But man, it's more Aiden Wild. He continues to impress this season. He gets to the line, blow past everybody, steps out at about the 5. They get down to the 1-yard line. The handoff once again to Aiden Wild. He punches in from there. Later in the second quarter, it's a 4th and 8. Heitzler dials back. It's intercepted there by Alex Schlichting. That will end, essentially, that would end the first half. Second half, guess who? Aiden Wild again catches blocks, finds his way down the sideline, touchdown there. And from there, it was over. You have the handoff to Alex Schlichting. He twists and fights his way into the end zone. So Lena-Winslow kind of does what we thought they could do in this one. They win impressively. So here we go. It sets up the matchup with Stockton. It's Kyle, let's talk about, first of all, let's talk about Lena-Winslow there. What'd you see? It's kind of what we expected. It's Wild, it's Schlichting. It's a strong defensive, physical defense. They get the job done here.
Yeah, no disrespect to Coach Grip and all the people from Anawan Wethersfield, but, listen to him on the pregame show. He knew what he was up against. We had him on the playoff show. He was hoping that he could get that opportunity and meet up with Lena-Winslow in the quarterfinals once the brackets broke loose. He was able to do that in a great season by A-Dub, but at the same time, the physicality difference, Coach Grip stated that this was going to be the most physical team his team has seen to date on the year, maybe the entire year if they were fortunate enough to get past them. And, listen to him at the halftime as well. It's just one of those things. When you're up against the Giant and the Giants putting their will on you.
Yeah, I was impressed with Lena-Winslow today. It's the first time I've seen him in person this year, and I say impressed, but it's what I expected them to do. I was impressed with Anawan Wethersfield throughout the year, but like you said, credit where it's due. This Lena-Winslow squad and a lot of the NUIC, they play at a different level, and it's just in these matchups, it takes a lot to overcome it, and it's hard to do. Not many teams, especially this late in the year, are able to overcome a team like Lena-Winslow. And so just really impressed with the effort there. What do you got, Mitch?
Just to kind of give you an extent of what the mindset of Coach Aaron is. Lee Wynn used all 3 of their first half timeouts in the first quarter when they were on defense because they were trying to take advantage of the wind.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. They had the wind at their back, and they wanted to make sure that Animal Weathersfield wouldn't run down the clock and have to punt into the wind.
Okay, I wondered I was there, and my son even said, like, why are there so many timeouts? Like, what is going on? And I really didn't have an answer for him, but there you go.
They were trying to take advantage of the wind.
Baby.
Yeah. I mean, it's no secret. I'm really impressed with the program that Coach Aaron runs and just the way they execute at such a high level. It all sets up here for a rematch against Stockton. What do we know, Kyle? What do we know? Actually, Shim, you were in Stockton tonight, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Well, let's go to you then. What am I wasting time with Mitch for? Let's go to the guy who was walking the sidelines.
Shim was in the outfield there at John O'Boyle.
Yep.
I
love
love it.
Field action.
Yep, I love it. All right, well, tell us through what you see in Stockton today in their win over Dwight.
I mean, it was pretty much business as usual for Stockton. They jumped out early and didn't look back.
Yep, no doubt about it.
Three picks. I mean, they don't get passed on a lot, but that secondary was ready for that all night.
Yeah, they were all over the passing game for sure.
Yeah. Kyle, your thoughts on, kind of the Stockton game and now setting up this rematch, the kind of epic that we've been waiting for?
Well, I mean, I was talking to Coach Downey, earlier this week and again this morning. And, he was very concerned with what Dwight was able to do. He goes, you watch one film and they look like world beaters, and you watched another film and they didn't look like the same team, which just spoke to kind of what their inconsistencies could be. But there was things that Coach Downey saw with them that he thought would provide fits for Stockton, and clearly that was not the case, as Jack Mensendijk just had himself a ball game today. What he have? I think it was like 11 attempts for 108 yards and 2 touchdowns in just the first quarter alone.
Yeah.
Just kind of put his will out there, and defensively, Dwight really couldn't do a whole lot. I think they finished the game with -1 yard passing, I think is what I heard. And rushing wise, clearly when you get goose egged by Stockton, you ain't running the ball. So it was just complete and total domination by the Blackhawks, which we expected to happen, really. I mean, we were talking to our guy Matt Serdick earlier today, whose team lost to Dwight last week, and he goes, there's no reason why Stockton can't put a clock up today, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. So there it is. Stockton, Lena-Winslow at John O'Boyle Saturday. We don't know a time just yet, but Kyle, you'd speculate 1 o'clock. I think both these teams agree 1 o'clock usually.
Oh, yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Rick Aaron's already in bed, and he's a creature of habit. He wants a 1 o'clock game because it's 10 minutes down the road, and I'm going to assume Downey's going to want the same thing because he wants to stay in his routine, get the guys up for 9 a.m. breakfast, and get stuff going. So I'm speculating that it will be a 1 p.m. kick.
Yeah. Well, opening thoughts here. I'll put you on the spot.
Well, obviously, there's a lot of people in the comments already wanting to talk about this game, and Josh Bruner is already asking for projections.
Yeah.
Right now, the early projections, if you look at one site, has Stockton favored 28-26. You look at another site, Lena-Winslow's favored 34-28. I think everybody's going to get what they are hoping for, and that's going to be what should be a much better game than the week 2 game. You got 2 state championship coaching staffs on both sides of the ball here. Obviously, Stockton's looking to book their 7th trip to state. Lena-Winslow's looking to book their 9th trip to state. So, but it's been a while since Stockton's been there. And, of course, the last time Stockton was there, the coaching staff that's at Stockton was at EPC. So, new territory all around as far as what Stockton and this team is going up against. But, you got guys on that staff that have played at Illinois State in Peyton Ashe. You have Logan Staver, who's on the staff. He was on that 2012 team that went to state. Steve Hawley was the center on that 2012 team that was at state. So there's a lot of guys there. Troy Edelman's another one. He was on the 91 state championship team. So there's experience there that can definitely build into what they want to do. I think that there's things that Stockton can do that definitely hurts what Lena-Winslow can stop. But at the same time, I think Lena-Winslow defensively can shut down Stockton's run game. So it's going to come down to, obviously, weather. Can Stockton live up to and or replicate the type of game that they had back in week 2 on a very beautiful night in Lena, celebrating the new opening of Community Bank Stadium and all that stuff that goes with it? I just feel that you're going to see a different Lena-Winslow team this time around. And I think Stockton knows that they're going to get a different Lena-Winslow team this time around. And I saw one guy put out there, Lena-Winslow's going to win by 3 touchdowns. I don't know about that, but I think it's going to be a giant matchup that is going to bring the best out of both teams at John O'Boyle Field next Saturday.
It might bring the best out of our media coverage as well.
God, I hope so.
We got
Kurtik, if you're still listening, man, you got to be up here.
We got some irons in the fire. We got some things happening. I don't want to release anything right now, but we could be doing some big-time stuff there at that game. Mitch, what are your thoughts on this matchup? It's one we've had circled since week 2 when they played the first time.
Yeah. And certainly seeing them on opposite ends of the 1A North, we kind of thought this was where we were going to end up. So fun to see that we're here. And I think Kyle said it best, and I've said it on our show, or if I've been on with Dazzo or wherever. Like, I don't think there's a team playing better than Lena-Winslow right now. I think they're riding in so much momentum. They have figured out what to do, how to distribute the ball on offense. But then you look at a game today with Stockton, and they looked like Stockton again, right? The rounds 1 and 2 didn't get off to quick starts. They couldn't, stop, whether it was Galena or whether it was specifically Hayworth last week, where they couldn't stop them from having chunk plays and get the ball back. This today finally looked like the Stockton team of normal. So I don't know. I've been picking Stockton all year, so I'm not going to be. I don't want to be a flip flopper on that. It's one of those things where at the moment, I will go with Stockton, but I think Lena-Winslow is going to win. It's a deal. So I don't know. It's going to be a heavyweight fight. There's no way this isn't just an absolute classic of a game. Kyle, you said something like 34-28. I don't even see it being that high scoring at all. But that's kind of what I thought in week 2. So I don't know. I'm glad we're here. I'm glad this is the matchup that we get. This is what we want in playoffs. If we can't get 1 through 32, we get 1 and 3 in a semifinal. So this should be great. Jealous that I won't be there, but looking forward to seeing one of these teams in normal the following week.
Speaking of that, you said seeing one of these teams in normal. Did you even notice that you said this looks like the Stockton of normal earlier in your comment?
Ooh, look at me on word plays. I'm very good like that.
It's almost like you gave a prediction without even knowing it.
Yeah, I didn't know it at all, nor do I think that was a prediction. But looking real quick through the state, and it shouldn't shock you that Stockton's 3 points allowed in the playoffs are the lowest, like by far.
Yeah.
I guess not by far. Richard Burton's only given up 13, but no one is even close to 3. So, yeah, as good as Lena-Winslow has been playing for the last 10 weeks, Stockton's defense is really, really good.
That seems like that's like a stockpile stat there, Mitch. Look at you busting out like a huge nugget there.
Like, it could be wrong. I don't know.
No, but I'm saying to notice that I hadn't realized they've 2 shutouts and then the 3 points to Hayworth. So it's like I think that's kind of gone under the radar how well they've played defensively. So
Those 3 points were on the opening drive against Hayworth too when they were trying to figure things out.
Yep, no doubt about it. So all right, well we haven't really we talked about the 4A bracket a little bit. Geneseo fell today to Morris. So that'll be a matchup with Lombard Montini. On the other side, Mitch, you mentioned that Rochester got the win over Sacred Heart Griffin. That looked like a showdown that you'd expect. 41-35 the final, Rochester over SHG. So that sets up Rochester, Breeze Central in the semifinal in the South, Morris, Lombard Montini in the 4A semifinal in the North. I'm just going to say it. I mean it as nice as possible. If Montini's in the state title game, we'll be at Pub 2 by the time that game kicks off. So,
Not if Byron is in the 3A title game, we won't.
No, I'm saying in 4A. If after the 3A game.
Right, but we'll still be around. You said at kickoff of the 4A game, we'll still be around by then.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah,
all right.
We won't see the end of the 4A game. How about
that? Fair enough. All right.
I mean, Montini, though, they blanked Coal City. Coal City had just cruised. Not cruise. They didn't cruise past Dixon, but I mean, they put up 49 in each of the first 2 rounds. Then Montini just completely shut that down real fast.
No, it's impressive. Yeah, it's no doubt about it. It's impressive. So, all right, so that's the 4A bracket. In 3A, like we talked about, Byron has the matchup with Richmond Burton. Richmond Burton got the win over Monmouth Roseville, 31-6. We actually have some highlights from that one, courtesy of WHBF Channel 4, hooking us up with some highlights there. So we'll roll those real quick here.
Shout out to Jay.
I actually shout out to his son, Tyler Kidwell, who texted me and said, hey, would you like some? So this is Richmond Burton early on, jumping up early, grabbing.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of this first half. And Monmouth Roseville fought. This was a really hard-hitting game between 2 really good teams. They're very similar in their styles. It just seems like Richmond Burton does it a little bit faster, a little bit stronger. Monmouth Roseville really hung tight. It was 10-0 at half. And then Richmond Burton had brought back the opening kickoff of the second half, like down to the 20 or something. It just was a back-breaking type of play. So I texted Coach Adolphson after the game. A lot to be proud of for the season for Monmouth Roseville to get all the way to the 3A quarterfinals. Fantastic season, great players, really fun to watch. And this is, I was a little suspect on who Richmond Burton has played on their resume, but they shut me up quick playing the way that they did today because it's a good program, really good team. The game against Byron is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So, Mitch, you mentioned, Monmouth Roseville played tough. Here's an interception here from Elliot Rogers to keep Monmouth Roseville in the ball game. And then, man, you see some of these highlights from Nick Houston. Just, man, I'm going to miss watching this kid play. I mean, just the effort.
Nick had 144 yards and a touchdown today.
Yeah, the effort, the determination, just the tough playing. You see it right here. Really great effort from him. He'll end up punching in the score right here. He's kind of been the heartbeat of that team all year long, and it was just really impressive to watch him. And it's a tough way to go down. Like you said, I mean, Richmond Burton is a really good team. And again, courtesy WHBF Channel 4, we had some highlights here, and then we also have post-game reaction quickly from Jeremy Adolphson. I want to listen to that because we've talked to him all year long, right? And it's been great to catch up with him after some really significant wins for this program. And when you listen to this soundbite after the game, you can really tell the emotion that, it's not, it's this team, but it's kind of the culmination of everything they've gone through to get here, throughout the last 4 years. So we'll play the soundbite here real quick from Coach Adolphson. Well, maybe in a minute.
Look at the touchdown quick.
Yep. All right. Should be coming up right here.
This is some good watching for those watching on YouTube.
Well, thank
what
you.
they've done, whether you say this year, the last 2 years, the last 3 years, the last 4 years, they're the most successful group to go through here. They've done everything we ever asked them. They've stepped up to so many big moments over the years and stepped up when we had to have them when they were younger and until the last moments out there on the field as seniors. Just an incredible group. We'll put another team out there next year. That's, if anyone's ever going to be able to reach the bar that they've set or to even think about replacing them, they got a heck of a task in front of them. So just super proud of it. I told them no less proud of them now than before the game started. It took a heck of a football team to beat us. I think we're a really good football team, but it just took a great one to beat us, and that's what you want. You walk off the field and you're done for the year.
I just really thought that was a great message there from Coach Adolphson. You could tell the emotion that comes through when, the year's over. And, Mitch, we talked about it early in the season especially. There were question marks for this team because they lost Peyton Thompson and they lost, a group of seniors that really had kind of helped turn the program around. And there was a lot of expectation last year, and they, performed in the regular season, fell short in the first round of the playoffs in that heartbreaking loss to Paxton Buckley Loda. Now this year, man, they consistently answered the call, and this was a group that, Coach Adolphson talked about every game. I mean, outside of the Rockridge game, every game they showed up, and even in the Rockridge game, they were playing hard. But man, they were getting the job done. They were consistent every game is what I'm trying to say. And it was impressive to watch.
Yeah, I go back to last year's Princeton game that really kind of shot this program up another level, right? I don't think that game we really expected them to win the way that they won. And yeah, you mentioned that playoff loss to PBL. I don't think we expected that either. And then this year comes around, they lose Andrew Way for a little while. They had to replace the players that you just mentioned, specifically Peyton Thompson, and they just kept looking good. Just a fantastic season. Wonderful program, wonderful coach. They're going to be back. They're going to reload. Not sure what that team's going to look like, but knowing Coach Adolphson and knowing what that program has done the past couple of years, they'll have some guys waiting in the shadows, waiting for their moment next season.
Yep. So that sets up with Richmond Burton getting the win there. Congratulations to Monmouth Roseville again, one more time on a great season. And also, shout out to Tyler Kidwell and WHBF Channel 4 hooking us up with some video there. That was great. So we appreciate it. Tyler Kidwell making the trip up to Richmond Burton. So there's the shout out there. So Richmond Burton now goes up against Byron, which we already talked about. On the opposite side of the bracket, how about that Illini Prairie rivalry showdown? Tolono Unity and St. Joe Ogden. I feel like these are it's like Rochester SHG, right? They're just always on a collision course with each other. And here we go. That's a great matchup in the South.
That's a rematch from week 4. That was a huge win for Tolono Unity. That was 40-10 over St. Joe Ogden in week 4. I mean, St. Joe Ogden is 8-4. Winners of 4 straight. So kudos to the Spartans on kind of what I guess they came in at the playoffs at 5-4, and here they are. So yeah, another rematch. Should be a great game there in 3A South. I
think it speaks to the same stuff we've talked about with the NUIC on the 1A level. You come in at 5-4, but man, you've played a gauntlet of a schedule, and you find a way now. That experience in losing those games, you find wins, and I'm not shocked to see a 4-loss team here, a 5-4 team now make it this kind of run in St. Joe Ogden. I'm excited for that one. And Mitch, I was officially the kiss of death because who'd I make a helmet for that's now out? Let's see, Westville. Are they out? I made a helmet for them.
Westville's out.
I made a helmet for Williamsville, and obviously I also made a helmet for Tolono Unity, so I do have that one on, still waiting to go. So,
keep in mind too that St. Joe Ogden came in at 5-4 as the 14th seed, and they beat Benton, who was undefeated in round 1. I think, Kyle, that was on a field goal at the end, right?
Yep.
There you go.
17-14.
So there you go. There's your look at 3A. I'm sorry. Richmond, Burton, and Byron meet up in Richmond, Burton on Saturday, and then it'll be Tolono Unity and St. Joe Ogden. That'll be at St. Joe Ogden on Saturday as well. We have not talked about 2A yet, so let's get into Class 2A. Mitch, read us the results, and then we'll kind of talk through it.
All right, Wilmington, the 5 seed, got the 49-7 clock win over Downs Tri-Valley. You had El Paso Gridley getting over Farmington 32-15. In the South, Monroe Forsyth defeated Flora 48-12. And as kind of mentioned, Westville fell to Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond 42-35.
Well, I guess let's start with the team that we had from our area. Farmington was left here. They went up against El Paso Gridley, and if our loyal listener from El Paso Gridley is listening, you got us. You were right. I don't know what he wants to hear, but El Paso Gridley is as good as advertised this year. They're having maybe one of the best years in school history, and they played really well tonight, and they they get the job done. They got a big test coming up in Wilmington.
Yeah, I watched a lot of this game. Their defense was just flying around. They got into Carson Noy's kitchen a lot. They had 2 pick sixes. One was a ball that got batted at the line. It went straight up in the air, got another deflection, then right into the hands of a Titan defender, and he ran it back. Because really, I did think Farmington's defense played really well in this game. They were able to stop the big play. Again, you take away those 2 pick sixes, and it's a little bit of a different story, but that's why you play a full game. So, yeah, coming off of that shutout victory against Newman, which included a couple of goal line stops, like this El Paso Gridley defense is really, really good. Carson Noy had a 38-yard touchdown pass to Landon Crawford that gave them a 7-6 lead early in the game. That was on a 4th and 21. It was a crazy play. And then our guy, Jack Gronwald, got another score in the second half. I think that was the opening. Yeah, that was the opening score of the second half. That got it to 23-15. So another score for Jack. He's been fun to cover. Oh, add in a safety. El Paso Gridley had a safety today too. So 2 pick sixes and a safety. And that's literally the difference in the score of those 3 plays. So congratulations to Farmington. I was texting with Coach Vallis after the game. He pointed out that this team has 23 wins in their last 2 years. Put that on par with Lee Wynn, who has 24, and Montini, who has 24. So being in the semifinals last year, being in the quarterfinals this year, back-to-back, LLC large championships just in like these 2 years alone. Certainly that streak goes back a couple of years, but a fantastic program. And then you remember that they played this year with a freshman quarterback and a sophomore running back. Like Farmington's going to reload. They're going to be fine. But just congratulations to Coach Vallis and that whole group and that whole community on another great year.
So here's an interesting take from Daniel. EPG is just too athletic for everyone but Wilmington. It's an interesting take.
That's a pretty important but as you got to go to Wilmington now. And I don't mean to take that away from El Paso Gridley, even though I've picked against them the last 2 weeks. So again, I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. Not afraid of that. I don't think I'm wrong that Wilmington is the best team in 2A, and it's a very big gap. So I don't mean that in any disrespect to El Paso Gridley. Personally, we were hoping for Wilmington to go to 3A, but what they did today against Downs Tri-Valley, who we knew is a great team, and that was a clock game. So interested to see it. I was very, very impressed with the Titans defense today against Farmington. So this will be their biggest test of the year with a Wilmington offense that has yet to be even remotely stopped outside of their week 1 game. So this should be good.
Yeah, I mean, this is, like we've talked about it. I joked when we got into this, we've heard from the El Paso Gridley faithful that, that maybe we weren't noticing them. Well, we've noticed them now, and I think now is the time, now is the opportunity here against a Wilmington team that we have circled.
Chicago Christian all over again. Oh my God.
So this is
what? This ain't Chicago Christian.
Just Just that we heard for weeks that we were counting somebody out. Now they proved us wrong, so El
Yeah.
Paso Gridley could do the same. So again, I've done it before. I'll do it again.
But I will say that this is a Wilmington team that we thought, man, if they fall into 2A, they're dangerous. And so
Yeah.
I'm not slighting El Paso Gridley. I've been impressed, and I'm excited to see this matchup. But this is a Wilmington team that we knew as soon as they went into 2A, they were a team circled that had big time potential to make it to normal, and I think it's all on the table for them. So it's a fascinating matchup here for sure. Kyle, what do you got?
2021 state champs, 2023 state champs. What year is it?
Oh, there you go. There you go. I was at one of those state championship games. It was after a Lena-Winslow win, correct?
2021.
There you go. Yep.
Probably
Yep.
at the next one.
Whoa. El Paso Gridley only has 3 seniors out of their 22 starters. So that's
They're
also
good.
something to note, that they're not going anywhere. So we appreciate Jeremiah Powell. He's giving us the info here. We appreciate it. So, all right. That's the 2A North matchup. Wilmington, El Paso Gridley. On the south side of things, Maroa Forsyth and Arthur Lovington, Atwood Hammond. I mean, I'll call it what it is. It's an upset here for Arthur Lovington, Atwood Hammond to beat Westville. I thought Westville, they were the 2 seed. They were the favorite going in. And you know, it's Arthur Lovington, Atwood Hammond getting the win here. Kyle, Logan, what say you?
Hats off to Coach Ryan Jefferson. Man, I look back. I reached out to him ahead of our playoff show. Every year, great conversation with Coach Jefferson.
Are you
wish
still
we would-
eating Taco Bell?
Yeah,
That was like 25 minutes ago.
yeah, it's still good.
Dear God.
That's what happens when you're fat, Mitch.
It's just
But,
winter weight.
But I mean, I gotta keep my physique up, right? You never know when somebody's gonna come troll me. At a game.
Winter's coming.
But
Hibernation.
yeah, but anyway, yeah, the Knights have definitely turned the heads. It starts to make you wonder: was Westville as good as we thought they were? And did we kind of overlook the Lincoln Prairie Conference a little bit?
Yeah. Jeremy
Yes, I
Castle
do,
stepping
Jeremy.
in.
Yes, I do, Jeremy.
So now on the flip side, I'll be honest here. Maroa Forsyth gets the win 48-12 over Flora. I'm going to be honest here. I completely miscalculated what was happening in week 7 and 8 for Maroa Forsyth. And then they, almost slipped up in week 9. They almost lost again in week 9. And I admit, then I kind of overlooked them, and now here they are back in a state semifinal game. I should have known better than to bet against Josh Joseph, because here we go. I knew when we talked to him last year, when I saw him play in the state championship game, even in a loss, I thought, man, they were really banged up. They were injured. They're going to be back, right? They're going to be back.
Couldn't pass that day.
No, couldn't pass that day. I should have trusted my gut. And Kyle, you know, my gut's getting there too. I like Taco Bell. I should have trusted my gut. And now here we are. Josh Joseph continues to prove me wrong. And
Last I had seen, their quarterback Ryan Shepard had like a 28-1 touchdown to interception ratio or something.
He's having another
he
big
was-
year.
Yeah, he was lights out last year. So
yeah, that's why, again, I should have just forgotten what I saw at the end of the regular season. I just knew what I trust my eyes when I saw him last year. I'm excited for this matchup. Am I wrong in thinking that Maroa Forsyth is the favorite as the 9 seed?
The favorite to come out of the South?
Yes.
Absolutely not.
I think
It
they're
goes
the
back to
favorite.
what me and Logan were talking about. At the beginning of the year, me and Logan, and I even brought it up to you guys, we had Tri-Valley and Maroa Forsyth. And this was before we thought Wilmington was going to drop into 2A, right? We had Tri-Valley, Maroa Forsyth. They were the teams to beat. Everybody else was just going to be there. Maroa Forsyth got hurt there late in the season. where they started to fall apart a little bit. They're back and they're healthy. They're starting to prove exactly what we thought that they were.
Yep. All right.
Correction, heading into today, it was
Forsythe got hurt there late.
was the Ryan Shepard touchdown to interception ratio.
What was that? Say it again.
Ryan Shepard's touchdown to interception ratio is 35-2 heading into today.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Yep.
That's it?
Yeah. So let's
Rookie numbers. Rookie numbers.
hitting the reset there. Wilmington, the 5 seed, will host El Paso Gridley in the semifinal in North in 2A. And on the south side, like we mentioned, Maroa Forsyth will go on the road to Arthur Lovington at Wood Hammond on Saturday. That'll be the 9 Maroa Forsyth against the 3 Ala. So there's your 2A look. And hey, we got another visitor here, Matt Now, fan of the show. Matt, I think on our kickoff party way back in August, I think you won the award for longest distance traveled. Between you and Quincy, it'd be really close, but I think you might take it.
Well, I mean, I just like to get around. Of course, as you guys know, week 2 I was at Princeton, right? And earlier today I met up with Shimdog over at Byron, and and one of the things. So I'll talk, I know you guys had Jeff Boyer on the show earlier.
Yep.
And I saw IC Catholic last week, and I was talking to a buddy of mine during that game. IC Catholic last week against Bishop Mack committed a lot of penalties, and there were some key penalties. One in particular, the roughing the kicker penalty. I think that was a big penalty for IC Catholic, and that resulted in an automatic first down, and Byron was able to keep playing their game and just kept pounding on the Knights defense, who by the way, some great playmakers on their defense. Garner in particular, the defensive end outside linebacker.
Yeah, well, so Matt, since you're in here, and I feel like you're kind of our eyes on the, Chicago suburbs or getting up into that direction, into that area, which kind of segues perfectly into, we haven't really talked about anything 5A and above. So where have you been? Where'd your travels take you recently? What do you look at in those bigger classes? What excites you?
Well, see, I was at Cary Grove last night, and I'm not surprised that I wasn't surprised at how good of a game it was. I was surprised that at Belvedere North, just flying all over the place. They're a team that has a lot of speed, and they're smaller. Cary Grove's got the bigger kids. They had Logan Abrams, but they held him in check. It's gonna be interesting to see how far Belvedere North can get. So that there's just that right there, just last night. And earlier today, Byron, and I just finished up from Bolingbrook. Frem's got Mount Carmel next week, and I did a live at the end. I made a mistake in the live. I had said that they were going to play Lockport. Oops, switch that up. They're actually playing Mount Carmel, and I had to make the correction. I did quote tweet make a correction saying they're actually playing Mount Carmel, not Lockport. So Bolingbrook. A lot of people did not expect them to make the run that they did. And speaking of Lockport, I saw them last week. They could play Mount Carmel in the state title. They've got Oswego next week. They're a great defensive minded team. They're going to run the ball. Mecker and Chris Miller. Those two guys ran the show last week against HF. So there's that, and then in 7A, I didn't see a St. Charles North Brother Rice score yet.
So Brother Rice 42-18 over St. Charles North. So that St. Charles North team that beat United Township to start this playoff run.
Yep.
they fall short today. Brother Rice, moving on.
All right, and they've got who next? So,
Yep. So it's
okay, yeah, Downers Grove North. That's an interesting one. I saw them at Lombard West last week, and Owen Lansu makes a difference in their offense, but against Brother Rice's front four, we'll see. I mean, Brother Rice was able to stay with Mount Carmel for a while in week 6. I was at that standing room only stadium back in week 6 when Brother Rice and Mount Carmel played each other.
Yeah. This is by far the most big school Chicago talk we've ever had on the Instant Reacts, but I'm here for it because Mitch and I usually just kind of talk about their uniforms and then just guess what's going to happen. So,
There you go.
Matt,
go ahead, Mitch.
You were at Fremd and Bolingbrook, right?
Yeah.
What chances does Fremd have against Mount Carmel?
Next question. No, I shouldn't say that. I mean,
Yeah.
look at what Mount Carmel did against Lincoln East.
Blocked them.
Whomped them. Yeah, I did not expect that. And I had that DVR set up, and all for nothing, basically.
You can see Jonas Williams setting the Illinois all-time high school passing record, though.
Oh, that's true. He did do that. No, I'll look at that then, at least.
Yeah.
It's a big accomplishment in a losing effort.
It is, absolutely.
So
it is.
Getting into that 7A bracket, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Batavia always kind of snake bitten by a Catholic League school in this time of year?
Usually, yeah, but that school is usually Mount Carmel.
Yes,
remember
exactly.
that. So, but now
it's not. Yep.
Yep.
Well, so what's that Batavia St. Rita matchup? We know St. Rita because they played Quincy last year, and man, they really impressed me in that second half against Quincy a year ago, and they seem to be just as good.
Well, so I look at St. Rita played Lincoln Way Central last week, and I think Batavia they got a shot against St. Rita. I think I haven't seen either of them yet. I know the Vander Luton or whatever his name is for Batavia, the quarterback. He's a good one, and St. Rita they're gonna try and run the ball on you, and it's going to be interesting to see how they do. They can they beat St. Rita? I think they can. It's just a matter of can they actually get it done this time or not. We'll see. And then they would most likely potentially run into Brother Rice in the title game if they get that far.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's kind of level set here in 7A.
So real quick.
Go ahead, Mitch.
Yeah. St. Rita, 4 losses for St. Rita. All 4 are to semifinalists.
Oh my God.
Hey, I do agree with Matt though. I think Batavia can get St. Rita.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, St. Rita, I think along with Marist, had an all Catholic League schedule this year. All 9 games during the regular season were Catholic League games. Because they needed to fill the schedule. They needed to fill a schedule for 1 and 2 for weeks 1 and 2.
Okay, yeah, I didn't realize Chicago Leo was CCL, but so yes, you're right. And just for reference, they started 1 and 4. They lost 3 in a row to Mount Carmel, Brother Rice, St. Francis, and then they lost to Naz in week 6. So they were sitting at 2 and 4, and now they're in the 7A semifinals. Yeah,
and the quarterback Armbruster, I think it's him. I think he's still there. I think if I remember right, he was hurt for a while, and I don't know if he's back or not.
Yeah. So it'll be in 7A, St. Rita, and Batavia. That'll be at St. Rita. You have Downers Grove North at Brother Rice also on Saturday. So that's 7A. We talked a little bit about 8A. You got Mount Carmel and Fremd. That will be at Mount Carmel. You have Lockport and Oswego. That will be at Oswego. Hey, Mitch, can we talk? Mitch, can we talk about that interesting matchup between East St. Louis and Simeon?
I literally can't wait to talk about East St. Louis and Simeon.
That was a great matchup. Great matchup.
A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
So Matt, I don't know if you listened to the show, the instant reacts last week. I was referencing, it was interesting that it's the football powerhouse in East St. Louis going up against the basketball powerhouse in Simeon. That's all I was mentioning.
Yeah.
And Mitch,
you said it was
took me
fun.
to task on that.
You said it was fun, and as
It was fun for
expected,
one team.
It was
fun for who?
Fun for
fun for who, Greg? Who was it fun for?
All right,
Hey.
just go ahead. Let's talk about it then. Come on.
How many points has East St. Louis scored? I can't do math that great, but it's close to 200.
Yeah. So I guess, looking around, so Matt, I'll ask you, have you caught up with Burbank St. Lawrence at all this year? They're a team that's always kind of in the mix this late in the year.
Yeah, I saw them. I saw them against Leo, and they won that one 41-0. You got Corey Les, who's the baseball star. They swap in 2 quarterbacks. They have an inside linebacker named Sean Rice, who's very impressive. And so who do they? They're gonna get. No, they're in the 6A South. So who do they got next?
It's East St. Louis and St. Lawrence. That's yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah, I forget. Because I forgot for a second. They're in 6A, not 5A. I was getting them confused with somebody else. So
exactly.
But yeah.
So
okay.
It's East St. Louis going on the road to Burbank St. Lawrence, and then you have Nazareth Academy. They'll be hosting Fenwick. They got the win 24-21 against Lake Zurich. They had to come back in that game, right?
Yes. Yeah. I think they were down 21 to either 21 to 3 or 21 to 9. I know it was 21 to 9 at one point. I was like, okay, Bears, let's go. That's up in my neck of the woods. Lake Zurich is. Yeah, and then I had I got a message from while I was at Byron. I think it was while I was at Byron, I got a message from the same guy that was at IC Catholic with me, and he said that saying something about Nazareth coming back. I was like, they came back? Because I was focused on the Byron game.
Yeah.
So
they were,
I was like,
Go ahead, they were
Mitch.
trailing 21-9. They were trailing 21-9 with under 3 minutes left. They blocked 2 punts and recovered an onside kick in the 4th.
Yeah, I know it was like I know it was a crazy ending. It just oh, poor Bears, poor Lakes.
Yeah, that's.
I was hoping, look, the way that was going, I was hoping, keeping my fingers crossed. Oh, let's keep at least one Lake County team in. Let's keep it. Nope, it didn't work out.
Yeah,
and still a great year for Lake Zurich. I think they were the only team. I think they were the only team in the North Suburban Conference that kept up with Warren for a little bit, if I remember right. Well, Zion Bend did for a little bit, but then Warren ran away with it at the end.
Yeah. Well, when we start looking at then St. Lawrence and East St. Louis, and you got Nazareth Academy and Fenwick, where do you lean? Who's going to that state title game?
Well, that's so. In my bracketology, I think that was my final 4, if I remember right.
There you go.
So now, in my bracket, I had East St. Louis winning against St. Lawrence, and I had Fenwick upsetting Naz. And the reason why I had Fenwick upsetting Naz, look at what Fenwick did against Mount Carmel. They kept up with them, bro.
Yeah.
So, now I understand you can't always lean on that because both teams played them, but It is at Naz, if I remember right. Is it right? Or is it at Triton?
It's at Nazareth Academy. Yep.
Okay, yeah. So they've got the home field. We'll see what happens there. That'll be a good one. If the timing works out right, yours truly might be there. We'll see.
Awesome. Love it.
And
love to hear it.
If the schedule works out, I'll speaking of while we're on the subject of schedules, Friday night, I'm assuming it's Friday night. I might join you guys at Monmouth.
Oh, there we go for the 8-man state title game.
Yeah, that is Friday night, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Kyle. We got you muted. There, jump back in. There we go.
Oh, sorry. Friday, 7 p.m.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Well, if on the outside chance there's a Friday night game, between 1A and 8A, which I doubt, which I'm not counting on it.
It doesn't look like there's a Friday night game.
And then it's maybe not. But yeah, I might see you guys at Monmouth on Friday.
Yeah. Well, one of our loyal listeners said the 8-man talk might come after midnight at this rate. It's true. We got through everything in the 11-man brackets here. Real quick, Matt, before we get into 8-man football, we have not talked about 5A at all. So Wheaton St. Francis, the 9 seed, will go on the road to Belvedere North. Then on the opposite side of the bracket, Providence Catholic will host Oak Forest. Any thoughts on those two matchups there?
Well, I got Providence beating Oak Forest. But man, Oak Forest, that they've had a hell of a season, man. I did not have them going this far. I think I had them losing the second round or maybe the quarters. I don't remember. It was either the second or third round I had them lose. I had them going down. But give them credit. They've had a great year. And they had the one hiccup so far against Hillcrest, and the rest of the time has been, for the most part, smooth sailing. And then if St. Francis Belvedere North, St. Francis, they've got good receivers, but their defense tends to give up points. I mean, I saw them first game of the year against Kenwood. That's an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to make of that. I'm really not.
Yeah.
I like the way North's playing right now. Obviously,
I do too.
Cherry Grove, and I was not expecting that at all.
And like I said, they play with a chip on their shoulder. That's what it looked like to me, because I'm sure they heard all the talk about Cary Grove, that Cary Grove was going to be one of the favorites, and how much of a powerhouse they've been, seemed like they had that why not us mentality last night.
Yeah, I will say this too, Matt. Don't ever bet against Tim Rackey.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they've won 3 state titles. What is it? 3 state titles in a row now? Yeah. They beat Peoria in 2022, and then Joliet Catholic back-to-back years.
Yep.
Need a rack. I just saw. I didn't see who it was that said need a Racky Sunkett matchup. Yeah, that'd be quite the game. A Nazi St. Louis game for sure.
Oh, no doubt about it. Yep.
Yeah, there's people out there that want to see East St. Louis and Mount Carmel.
Yeah, they played each other a couple of years ago down at ISU. You guys may recall. I'm disappointed that something like that didn't happen again this year. Whether it was against Mount Carmel or somebody else, because I enjoyed that the last couple of years. So.
Yeah, for sure. That was really cool when they made that happen and made it work. So, hey, Mitch, how about that? That was some educated talk, some smart football talk about 6A through 8A. How about that?
Like you said, I don't think we've ever talked about the big schools like that in the past. So yeah.
Well, no, we've talked about them. It just hasn't always been well educated.
It's not any good, right?
Hey, Matt, we appreciate you jumping on. We actually we're going to pivot way back to 1A because we got a surprise guest here. Sean Downey, the head coach of the Stockton Blackhawks, is in the Instant REAX. Coach, how you doing? You're up late with us.
Yeah, got everything wrapped up there at the school, and we had a late start. Went up and got some dinner at the Buckhorn Saloon there in Stockton, and ate some pizza with the coaches, and just headed home. So.
Well, there you go. Well, hey, Coach, we appreciate you stopping by. And to all our listeners, truth be told, we invited Rick Aaron and Sean both on the show tonight because I don't want to play favorites. The big matchup next week. We invited both coaches. But Kyle, you talked to Rick, and he politely declined and said he'd probably already be in bed.
Yeah, I was on my way back from the Wild game, and yeah, he goes, 10 o'clock, are you sure? I might be in bed. He's getting old, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, he's been at this for 29 years now, and he's about 60, so.
Oh, jeez. I wasn't going to poke at him that hard, but here, So, well, hey.
He'll play with it. He'll play with it.
Yeah, well, I was walking the sidelines in Anawan Weathersfield tonight and saw them get the win. But Coach, you said you had the late start today, and congratulations to the Stockton volleyball team getting second in state for the second year in a row. I think that's the reason you kind of moved your game late, correct?
Yeah, it was. Congratulations to Coach Pontius and our girls. Second straight year runner-up. They kind of ran into a buzzsaw there in the championship game, but that group of girls got a lot to be proud of. But yeah, we moved it back to 6 p.m. tonight so that folks could get back from Bloomington Normal and attend the volleyball game. They'll have time to get back to our playoff game. And on top of that, workers, our athletic director, John Hammond, and workers were down there also. So we gave time for everybody to get back. And, I got to tell you guys, I really enjoyed the night game, the atmosphere tonight. And the first night playoff game in Stockton since 1991.
Oh, my gosh. Wow, how about that? There's some great nugget of information there. Well, Coach,
hey,
talk
by the
about.
Way, they won state that year.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a Wednesday night game. When they played the first round on a Wednesday and then on a Saturday, the second round. So, yeah, actually, one of my coaches on my staff, Troy Edelman, was on that 91 team.
Awesome. Well, talk about, before we get into the game tonight and kind of the playoff run here, just talk about what did it mean to you to, have the atmosphere you had tonight and know that you got a playoff game at home again next week. Like, it's one of those things, we were talking about it with Coach Jeff Boyer from Byron, that do you ever take a look around and kind of pinch yourself and say, like, man, this is really cool what we got going on here?
Yeah, I try to. My wife tries to remind me to do that a little more often than I probably do it. But, yeah, just a special night, special group of kids. And then, to get to recognize the volleyball team at half on the field there, it was kind of a nice welcome home. It was just a really cool night at John O'Boyle Field. A lot of fun. I thought we had a huge crowd there tonight, and probably looking at a even bigger crowd next week.
Yep, I would suspect that. We'll talk
about statement, Coach.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that one in a minute. But so Coach Dwight offered, kind of a, a little bit of a passing attack. What did you see in them in film, and how did you know, what were you looking at to attack on them? And you had some success getting, I think, 3 interceptions. So.
Yeah. Honestly, on film, they scared me to death. They looked the part, throwing the ball and running the ball. They had nice size. Their skill positions were good. So, I thought we really kind of set the tone. We got them 3 and out. They won the toss, so we kicked off, obviously, or they receive, and then we were able to shut them down, and on their first set of downs got a 3 and out, and then just kind of really had a typical drive down the field. I think we ran double lead out of Wishbone about 6 or 8 straight times, and we're just able to kind of set the tone there right away in that first drive, and got a stop right away on the second series and went down and got that 2-score lead. So, we were able to kind of take control in the first quarter there.
Yeah. Mitch, what do you got for Coach?
Yeah, Kyle had mentioned to us previously, Coach, that what you had said about what you thought of Dwight, and respectfully, I don't believe that. But I said before you had come on that it looked tonight, it looked like the Stockton of what we saw in the regular season, right? Your first 2 games in the playoffs, certainly you had a tough round 1 with Galena. We knew what that was going to look like, and then Hayworth kind of controlled the clock there in round 2. Certainly in that first half, but tonight really looked like the Stockton that we're used to seeing. So, was there? You mentioned your prep going into Dwight, but am I wrong in that you maybe played? This was your best playoff game so far the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I thought our intensity level to start the game, our focus level was the highest it's been in 3 weeks. I thought our preparation was probably the highest it'd been in the first few rounds of the playoffs. And our coaching staff is kind of harped this week that how we've been playing the last 2 weeks has not been good enough, and I thought we took a step in the right direction tonight for sure.
Coach, along those same lines, how frustrating was it? Frustrating? Is it hard when Hayworth comes out and kind of has their game plan to hold the ball as long as they can? And credit to them, last week they executed, it seemed like, in that first quarter. But is that tough for your guys to, get off opening kickoff and they don't touch the ball for such a long time?
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job. We were close to getting off the field multiple times. Had them early on in a 4th and 5, and they ran a fake punt. I think they got 6 or 8 yards. It wasn't a huge gasher play, but it was able to just move the chains. And then, we had them 3rd and long, and they were able to complete a 12-yard hitch. So they got into 4th and 3, and then they were able to convert that. Like, the first drive was frustrating, just that we couldn't get off the field. And we say that, and then as close, the best opportunity they could get to scoring was a 30-yard field goal. So, and to their credit, they made it, and that was the only score of the game. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to say frustrating, but I mean, teams were keeping the ball away from us a little bit, which we take as a compliment, I guess. But I guess as an offensive coach, probably more frustrating is just we haven't got a look that we've practiced for in quite a few weeks now. We're starting to see some exotic fronts and some exotic blitzes defensively. So it's been taking us a little bit of time to get into it, but I thought we kind of adjusted on the fly the last few weeks, and we were able to do a lot faster and kind of put the game out of reach early.
Well, Coach, you kind of mentioned it there, the 3 points that Hayworth put up in a field goal, the only 3 points you've allowed in this playoff run. What kind of pride do you take? How important is it that your defense is executing at a really high level right now and not giving anything?
Yeah, Coach Riley's done a good job with that, a really good job with that group all year long. I wish I could take some credit for how the defense is playing, but his side of the ball and the game plans he comes up with and installs each week are second to none. So tons of credit to him. I trust him. Everything that he's doing, and the kids have really bought the scheme, and we're able to be pretty multiple as far as playing zone and bringing blitzes and bringing pressure, man, and he's got different looks that he can throw at you. So a lot of faith in that defense, and hopefully it continues, because it's going to be a tall task next week.
Well, we'll talk about that tall task, because Kyle Kampmeyer here, I don't know, he's really excited about this game next week. I don't know if you've heard of Kyle. He follows your work. So
Yeah.
So, Kyle Kampmeyer from NUICfootball.com. This is the game that we had circled, when the season started, really. We had circled in week 2, and then we knew after week 2 we'd be looking forward to a playoff matchup, and here it is. So I guess I'll open the floor to you, sir. What do you got for Sean when you come to this time of year in a rematch with Lena-Winslow?
First off, Coach, I told you were going to take care of Dwight. You just got to trust yourself a little bit more, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, on film, they were a scary, scary team.
But no, great job tonight. Obviously, Jack had a huge, huge game for you. And of course, a lot of the other guys did too. And man, it's been so much fun watching you guys just roll through these playoffs. Obviously, there's a lot of talk already going on about the Lena-Winslow Stockton matchup. I know everybody has been wanting you guys to be on opposite sides of the brackets before they play it out. And then we tried to get you to talk about it on the playoff show, but you're a smart guy and you know not to look ahead of anybody. But, we all knew that this was going to be the matchup we were expecting and hoping to see. And it's here. You get to have it at home at John O'Boyle Field. How exciting is that to be able to have that home game there? And, we have already been discussing through our group chat tonight about putting on a game day-esque type of broadcast for the Stockton Lena-Winslow game ahead of the matchup next week.
Oh boy, that idea. Quite a scene. Which one of you guys is going to be Pat McAfee, though?
That'll be me.
Yeah, Kyle is definitely Kyle is definitely ripping his shirt off. Yep,
yeah.
No doubt about it.
I am not taking my shirt off. I'm not cut like Pat.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. Like the last few weeks in Stockton have just been kind of crazy, honestly, between the volleyball team and the football, the playoff games, and it's been a complete whirlwind. Lots of excitement. I kept the football players home from the volleyball state tournament today, and we all went up to the Buckhorn Loon for a watch party, and the place was it was full at 10:30 a.m., 10 o'clock in the morning. So, I mean, the town's, you guys know there's a lot of pride in this community, and I don't know, I don't Stockton and Lena-Winslow have ever played in the final before, but I sure think this is going to be a fun one coming up.
Yeah.
So this is the first time for a semifinal match. What most of these people don't know, but I know, is that the winner in the regular season has always won the playoff matchup as well.
Well, let's hope that continues.
Yeah. So
that'd be a good trend to go on at least for one more year. Yeah, for sure.
Coach, you kind of talked about, you're seeing some different looks from teams now in the playoffs, and that's a credit to your team. I think that they're trying to catch you off guard. They're trying to present something that's different that you haven't seen on film yet. And I think that trend is going to continue, maybe even ramped up heading into this Lena-Winslow matchup. It's a team you're very familiar with, but what's the emphasis this week in knowing that they're going to throw some things at you because this, they've been looking at this the same way you have. They've been waiting for this rematch.
Yeah, for sure. We've got a lot of experience with them. They've got a lot of experience with us. So, I think that both sides know, what adjustments the other ones can make and the counters that you can counter those adjustments with, and then you're into counters of counters. So it's, going back even when I was at EPC and calling offense for Randy for the Wildcats there, going against Coach Milder, our time there, like I got a ton of respect for Coach Milder and the defensive side of the ball. He does. So, yeah, I mean, it's a chess match, and it's you know, I don't know. It's adjustments and little adjustments, but yeah, I mean, we've got some things that we've held back in our pocket throughout over the course of the year here, and I know that they've done the same. So, everything's going to probably get emptied out on Saturday, would be my guess.
So
Yeah.
first team to score wins.
Oh, oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know probably the coin flip is the first big play of the game because we were able to
You're
win the
not wrong
coin
there.
flip at Lena, and we took the ball. Yeah. Yeah. And I know they all to try to score first too. So the first big play is going to be the coin flip.
So when you go to the coin flip, are you telling Eli that if you guys win the toss, you're taking the ball?
Yeah, we've done that every game all year. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So we've taken the ball every toss we've won. Now Eli has not done a very good job on the coin tosses lately. So maybe I need to coach the tails here.
Yeah. Yeah. Coach, what does it mean to you to have that kind of trust in your offense to know that we want the ball? We want the ball in our hands when the game starts to just get us up and rolling. Talk me through that mentality. That's got to be fun to know the trust in those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just seems like over the last few years that we've kind of been a little more explosive on offense and could settle into games faster on the offensive side of the ball, where maybe it took us a series or two on the defensive side of the ball. So we finally just said, screw it. I'm going to take the ball and get into this first quarter and get us playing on the offensive side of the ball. But now with that being said, our defense has started to play extremely well too. Whatever happens, we're fine with. But yeah, I mean, really, it goes back even to last year where it felt like it took a little time for us to get into the games, and it felt like we would pick momentum up faster on the offensive side of the ball. So that started taking the ball.
Yeah. Mitch, you got anything else for Coach Downey here?
Well, I was just going to ask Coach. I've been saying just the past couple of weeks that I think Lena-Winslow is playing with some serious momentum. And, it's been, 10 weeks now since you guys played. I think both teams come into this game a lot differently than that week 2 game. So do you take much from that? Do you watch that film again? Or do you just kind of start back over with their recent playoff games?
Yeah. I'm excited because we get to be an underdog again. We haven't got to do that since week 2. So, a lot of people are saying that we're the underdog going in, and that's a role we're comfortable in. So, we're gonna embrace that role and go in and play loose and play fast and see what happens. So.
Awesome.
I think it's 50-50, Coach. I don't think everybody thinks you're the underdog. But I'm glad you're wearing that
40,
You're wearing it well.
Yeah. 49-51 maybe. We'll be on the 49 side.
Hey, Coach, before we let you go, I do got to bring up, did you hear that a good friend of Mitch's got married this fall, and he also is associated with the Lena-Winslow program, and on the day of his wedding, he did a FaceTime call with the bride and groom, Lena-Winslow supporters, and Mitch was rocking his Stockton hoodie. So how about that?
Oh, okay. Love that.
So
I had said that night
awesome.
if I had pictures of specifically the bride of the biggest day of her life and the look she gives me because I'm wearing a Stockton Blackhawks hoodie, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. It's fun though, right? Like it's fun. It's a rivalry again because it wasn't that many years ago that they kind of took control of it and kind of controlled the rivalry. But hopefully we got a little bit to say about it.
Yeah, awesome. I'm looking forward to it. You know, Coach, I think I'll be walking the sideline in Stockton. Mitch and I have long discussed it's one of our favorite places to watch a high school football game. And
Number
this
one.
atmosphere, it should be absolutely electric. I mean, I gotta confirm with Kyle, but I might be on the sidelines at like 8 a.m. that morning. I don't know. We'll see.
Greg,
Yeah.
Greg, I've already posted that everywhere that you're coming up and we're
Okay.
doing this game day stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Surdyk's still lurking on here. I know he's watching because he just commented calling us sandbaggers. But he's got to be coming up for the show too.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna have a contingent
and Tim
there.
Dog's gonna make his debut.
There we go. All right.
Yeah.
It's all set. So, all right. Well, hey, Coach.
Well,
we
good deal.
We appreciate the time. Thanks for jumping in and staying up late with us. It's a ton of fun.
Yeah, good luck, Coach.
All right, guys. Sounds good. We'll look for the TV set next weekend when you get up there.
Sounds good. Kyle's going all
right, guys.
McAfee on us.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
See you, Coach.
All right, guys. See you later.
Yep. And here he is, Matt Randazzo from Off the Air with Matt Randazzo, part of the River Rivals Media Network, of course, joining us. What's up, Dad?
Hi, fellas. You
How we
know, I'm
doing?
just, it's funny. I feel bad because I saw it start, and then I saw Dan Pearson was on here. Did you have DP on here?
We did.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know. Like, I should escort
And
myself
we had
out
highlights
quietly.
from Kidwell. So you're third fiddle here, Dazzo.
You had highlights from Kidwell?
Yes.
From which game?
Highlights from Tyler Kidwell, who made the trip to Richmond Burton for us. So it was Monmouth Roseville falls short, but had really good highlights and had post game from Jeremy Adolphson. So we ran those.
I love it. I love it. Well, yeah, you don't need me. There's no really reason for me to be.
Yeah.
No, I saw you guys were on.
Did you just fly back from Los Angeles after covering the Hawkeyes?
Yeah, I was exhausted. No, I didn't even realize the whole week that my kid had like their basketball tip-off dinner thing tonight.
Okay.
So like I had that to do. So I got home and I
Father of the
was,
year.
I was planning on doing this, and then then like Caker texted me and he's like, "We gotta do a post pod." I was like, "Okay." So I jumped on, did that stuff, and then I'm like, "Man, if these guys are still on, I gotta go say it." Especially this is the third time this week that I've shared airtime with Mitch. Like, I mean, it's a good week. It's a
He
good
holds
week.
a
I'm
special
not gonna-
place in your heart, Dazzo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, if we print the Mitch guy, I'm a Mitch guy shirts, they're gonna sell like hotcakes.
Yep.
But it wasn't it was a fun day of high school football, but I watched and kept up the whole time and everything. It wasn't that Geneseo game was crazy.
Yeah. Yep. That was a great game. So I started in Anawan Weathersfield, and in the middle of the third quarter, Lee Wynn had kind of taken control of that one. So Casey and I jumped back on Interstate 80. We're headed back down, and as we're driving, I said, I gotta stop. I know Pearson's there getting video, but I gotta stop.
Yeah.
And so we go, and man, Morris, credit to Morris, they're a great football team. But man, Coach Furlong and that Geneseo team, they were a thorn in their side. They would not go away. They continued to drive the ball downfield. They put themselves in another position where they were one grab of an onside kick away from getting that ball back. And who knows where that game goes from there. It was so close. And I just, I give credit to Geneseo because I think that they battled. They absolutely battled. And we talked to Pearson about it. I think that this feels like a Geneseo program. Dan said it. They're back, right? It feels like this Geneseo team is back now. And these kids who, they've followed it their whole time growing up, that it's back to that mentality of like, we can win every game we step on the field, right? And that's powerful.
The bar has been raised back up.
Yes.
And just talking to people around Geneseo that know and all those kind of things. Yet they lose some really talented players, and we know that. And that's the bad part of like the end of the season. And in some of these games, obviously you have a special year, quarterfinal appearance, all that kind of stuff. But it's the last time they're going to play and their team's uniforms, whether it's Geneseo or whomever. So they have some shoes to fill and obviously some big names, but everything that anybody's told me about Geneseo is that The younger programs are really good. The freshmen are good. The sophomores are good. Like it's not a cupboard is empty. This was that 1 year and then you rebuild again. It sounds like they should reload. No pressure, Matt Furlong, but they should reload. I think they're back to being Geneseo. And the thing is, like, it's kind of, and I don't know if this might not be the best analogy. It's kind of like Iowa, where like they didn't really go away.
Hey,
like
I'm
just
shocked.
because
I'm shocked that Dazzo's analogy includes.
I was waiting to
Iowa.
see if I got my. Oh no, I switched to my Pioneer 3/4 zip. I thought I still had my Iowa one on, but no, because like, what was the complaint? Is because they won 5 or 6 games a year. You know, it was like, it's not like they're ever bad, but it's just like they're back to being Geneseo football and having some really good seasons. And I'm really intrigued to see where it goes from there. And then again, congratulations to Tony Grip and Anawan Weathersfield, an awesome season for them. And you run into a buzzsaw with Lena-Winslow, and boy, I used to give, and Kyle, don't get mad at me, but I used to give Greg a hard time because like I'm the Quad City guy, and I'm just like, let me know when you talk about I think I joked I used to call it the NUPHYZ. I could never get it right, what it was. I'd always invert whatever. And now I'm just fascinated by the conference. So now it's just like, I don't feel like all of our teams are done because I was just talking on the special show that I did for OTA that, you know, like that's a great matchup. And it's not like they're my viewing area. If you want to watch on YouTube, you can watch me from wherever. So really intrigued with that one next week as well. And also Jeremy Adolphson, Monmouth Roseville, despite you guys just hating them and kicking them when they were down the entire year. I felt like myself and Jeremy Adolphson did a good job of bringing them to the quarterfinals. I take full credit for what happened. So
Yeah, you should. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what
should.
I have tomorrow?
What do you have tomorrow?
And I don't know if you'll be as much help. You're really helpful when it comes to the Western Big Six football banquet, but I have the boys basketball banquet tomorrow night that I got MC.
All right.
And I usually, Greg knows, I'll usually call Greg or text Greg with like, all right, help me. How am I making fun of Morrissey? Or, well, he's easy, but like, how am I making fun of this person or that person? So now I got to go write jokes for basketball. So, and you look at those guys, how can you make fun of these guys? They're perfect. Like, how do you make fun of Sean Taylor or Scott Morrell? Look at him. How do you make fun of Scotty Morrell? There's nothing. He's perfect. So we'll find some things here and there.
Doesn't Sean Taylor usually carry the show? He steals the show
awesome.
every year.
He's awesome. But I'm to the point now where I've heard all of his jokes like 10 times, but that's okay. That's okay.
Who's the favorite in the Western Big Six this year?
You know what? I think it might be UT. Rocky's really good too. And then Moline. Sean likes his guys. You know, they get all that coach speak and everything like that. But it should be really good. And Quincy's always good. It should be a lot of fun and all that kind of stuff. But first things first, football you got to finish up. So
we're 2 hours in. Welcome to the Western Big Six basketball preview show on the Instant REAX pod.
That's the beauty part of it. So how many in the Western View from the West area? Byron's left, Stockton's left, Lena-Winslow's left, Amboy's left. Is Polo left?
Yep.
Polo.
Yep.
Polo Amboy for state, Dazzle.
That's right. So that's our 5, right, Mitch?
This is going to make people that watch this mad, but that's just like back in my TV days, I don't care. Well, no, because it's just those two teams that were like borderline, like, are they your viewing area? Are they not your viewing area? But they were clearly not. Those are what we call Kevin Core specials, is what those are.
Yes. And
I love Kevin Core. But viewing area is a viewing area. So,
well, and they trend more towards Rockford viewing.
Yes,
So yeah.
So, and I shouldn't say that. That's the two great teams. Boy, they're gonna hate me there. But
well, yeah, you made
a game.
Yeah, you made a bunch of enemies. So
yeah,
well,
that's right.
You segued right into it. So we've already talked about the teams we have left in 11 man. If anyone is still watching, well, I hope they're they're waiting for 8-man. They're waiting for 8-man coverage. They said it would come at midnight. We're going to get them about 30 minutes early. Let's get into 8-man football, Kyle. Tell us about what we need to know in 8-man football.
Hey, real quick, Kyle. I'm going to go to bed, guys. Good night.
No, you can't do that.
What? Why? I got to read at church tomorrow. Does that count?
No, you got to stay on.
I'll stick around. I'm sticking around. I'm here. Go on. Sorry, Kyle. Proceed.
No, you're good. So obviously Polo had to go all the way down to Kincaid today For those that don't know where that's at, that's like 15 minutes south of Springfield. And they pulled out a win, 38-0 over the
Squeaked by.
number 5 ranked Ponies. And Polo back to the state championship for the first time since 2021. Amboy hosted Milledgeville. That was a hell of a game. Amboy pulls that one out 18-8. So all you 8-man haters out there, good teams play good football, whether it's 8-man or 11-man. I don't care what you guys say. Shove it up your old pipe holes, and there you go.
So no, it was.
I'm so glad I stayed.
Man highlights, Kyle.
I'm so glad I stayed just to hear Kyle tell him when to stick it up their pipe hole. That's awesome. I'll be quiet again. Sorry.
But so Amboy and Polo mark the whoever wins will become the first 3-time state champion in IFA history.
Well, and
today's Milledgeville Amboy game, Kyle, goes against what you just said to Coach Downey, that the team that wins in the regular season wins the playoff game. So you can't use that.
I meant in the Stockton Lena matchup.
Okay.
Not in general.
So
sure.
I think what's interesting, what's great about this matchup, when you talk about Polo and Amboy, these are the top 2 teams in 8-man football since it's come into existence in Illinois. No doubt about it. These are the best 2, correct?
They both have the winningest playoff percentages since their inception in 8-man.
Yeah.
Polo has collected 3 losses in the playoffs, and Amboy's only lost in the playoffs twice.
Yeah. These 2 have not faced off in a title game, though, correct?
No. This is the 3rd time that NUIC members are going up against each other in the state championship game at the 8-man level in the last 5 years. So 2021, it was Polo and Orangeville, and last year it was Amboy and Milledgeville, and this year it's Amboy and Polo.
Yeah. I mean, to me, what stands out is that over the course of 8-man football, as it's played out over the whatever it's been, I mean, 7, 8, is it 10 years? Are we about 10 years in?
No. 2018 technically was the first one, but there's only like 4 teams competing for a state championship that year. So
okay,
I really book it as 2019 was the real
I guess
first year.
Yeah. But
there
in
was
the
like
course
20 teams or so.
In the course of 8-man football, I think it's been Polo and Amboy that have proven to be the best programs, and they've never met up for a state title. So here we go. It seems like a really kind of defining chapter in 8-man football as it's grown. That's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, Polo won back-to-back championships in 2019 and 2021. Obviously, COVID in there kept that from happening. Of which, whether it be River Ridge or West Central, they were actually the favorites in that COVID year. And then 2022 did go to West Central, and obviously the last 2 years have gone to Amboy. So definitely a lot of fun to see. And I tell you what, we're going to definitely have a great state championship game down in Monmouth Friday night. I can't wait to get down there, to be honest.
Yeah.
You got an early line on that one, Kyle?
Oh, Mitch, hold on. I can grab you an early line if you want. Let's see what we have. Keep talking while I look this up. I'll come back.
We can look it up. Yeah. So I guess that, as you look through it, it's the Amboy Clippers coming away with the rematch win over Milledgeville. And was it Lopez had a lot of yards today? I don't know. Mitch, do you have the numbers? I know we had them retweeted at one point on our feed. I'm putting you on the spot, but.
Oh, I don't remember. I was looking at Marcus Mumford, though, because I thought he had a big day.
Mercer did have a big day.
Not Marcus. Marcus Mumford's the lead singer of that band, isn't he? I think Mumford's son.
I'm looking. Hold on.
All right.
It's too late.
Nope.
8-man after dark gets weird.
It does. It's great. I believe I saw somewhere where Lopez had like 206 yards today.
I thought it was over 200 yards. So that's an impressive effort from him.
As Jay Doyle says, my guy Jose Lopez.
Yeah. So, Kyle, I guess what I want to know is what what flipped here? What do you know? I mean, have you talked to anybody who was there? What did Amboy do differently? Are they just playing better this time of year than they were in week 1?
I think it just came down to, yes, Amboy has definitely gotten better as the year's gone on. I mean, they last met up back in week 1, and Milledgeville had more experience in week 1 than what Amboy had, despite the fact that they're 2-time state champs. They only returned 3 starters from last year's team, where Milledgeville returned a ton off of last year's team that finished runner-up. So I think that in itself was where it favored Milledgeville that first time around, despite the fact that Amboy actually did have the lead at halftime. But this time around, Amboy was able to get on the board, and then they were able to get another touchdown in there to take a 12-0 lead. And then Milledgeville got a shock of life there late in the fourth quarter to score and get the 2-point conversion and make it 12-8. And then they recovered the ensuing onside kick. And then they started to drive right back down the field again for what was looking to be what would have been a go-ahead score. But then they had a snap go over their head on a 3rd and short play that just set them way back, and they couldn't recover after that. And then Lopez ripped off another big run to win it 18-8.
Yeah.
Your line, however, does have Amboy favored. I see Surdyk's out here saying Amboy is a favorite by 1.5, which that may be partially true, but Amboy projected 38-28. So we'll see if that lives up to it. I like what Polo is doing right now. They've changed their offensive schemes a little bit, where they're playing a wing style offense in 8-man football, but they're kind of going to a power side up back. And they've basically taken their guard and made him into a fullback in Wyatt Plackno, the all-stater, and then they're running to the side he's on, along with tight end Damon Rao, who's also an all-stater. So they're basically getting behind their 2 biggest guys and just running right at you. And Mumford's the other all-stater for him, and he's just, as long as he's healthy, man, watch out. It's fun.
Yeah, it feels like this Polo team made a statement today against South Fork. It was a program. The Ponies were a program that were knocking on the door, and they were on the verge of really making a statement, right? And it felt like Polo came in and kind of once again made that statement that the NUIC is the defining conference in 8-man football.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. And, it's one of those things where, our guy Edgy Tim talks about it weekly, right? About you have that NUIC flavor is what Coach Lang calls it, as far as when it comes to 8-man football. And, it's one of those things where everybody across 8-man knows it. It's how do you beat it and how do you stop it? And that's where the line gets drawn right now. And, we thought that South Fork was going to be a team that could definitely give it a push. They upset West Carroll last week. And granted, it's hard to say upset because South Fork was the 2 seed while West Carroll was the 7 seed. But really, West Carroll was the favorite in that game. And South Fork took it to them. And they beat West Carroll worse than Polo beat West Carroll. But like I said, Polo definitely looks a lot different from where they're at now going into week 13 from where they were back in week 3 when they last played West Carroll as well.
Yeah. So Kyle, what's your coverage plans for the 8-man state title game?
So my plan right now is I took that day off of work. So I'll be probably arriving in Monmouth around 4:30-ish. And I'm hoping to go live, whether you're there or Joe Murdy meets up with me, my co-host on the 8-man side of it. I'm also going to see if the coach, Jay Doyle, wants to take a trip down as well. We'll see if he can join in. If he does, we're definitely having something going. But yeah, I kind of want to replicate what our plans are for the state weekend in Normal. I want to kind of replicate that for 8-man so we can kind of bring that same level of coverage and hype around it, because I tell you what, there's going to be over 3,000 people at this 8-man state championship game. And last year there was over 14,000 viewers to the state championship game. So those are awesome numbers if you really break it down. And every year the 8-man game continues to grow in viewership at this level. So I think fans are going to definitely get what they're bargaining for. But my plans are to be down there early because I want to park in that dorm parking lot that's right behind the press box. So it's a short walk for a fat guy like me. Get down on the field, get set up, do all that stuff. Probably talk to John Lawler. I'm assuming, I already know Dwayne Hewlett's going to want me to jump on his live pregame show as well. So jump on there, give some insight about the game and what we can expect from it. So this week's going to be a big homework week. Not that I already don't know what I'm going to talk about. I mean, you got two power run teams going at each other's throats. So it's going to be a fast game. That's no doubt about that. Kickoff time at 7:00. I'll be surprised if it goes past 9:00.
Yeah. Yep. Great atmosphere last year there in Monmouth and every year. I love it. Yep. It's a great game. And I feel like, I hope the IHSA is taking notice, because I think big picture, like, this should all be looped in, right? There's no reason these schools aren't considered an IHSA state champion. So I hope that they take note of that. So, Mitch, you're all like laid back in your king's chair there. I've never seen that chair that you have right now. That you look very comfortable. And you're muted, so you are very comfortable.
No, I'm usually not in the office. I usually save this for Dazzo's show so I can be fancy for his his broadcast.
I was gonna say I saw that this week. That's why the whole off there with Mitch and Daz thing has to go. Just saying.
Yep. All right, well, before Dazzo falls asleep, we'll get his overall thoughts here.
No, hey, it was I miss kind of focusing on the high school football on Saturdays like this. The one thing I'll say, and it's not in a negative way, but I thought this would be the year that the Quad Cities would get a team back. I wanted to state, but I'm surprised there's not one in the semifinals. I think it's going to come quick. I mean, we all covered it for a long time, Greg, Mitch. I mean, there was times you were going down to cover two teams at state. So I'm eager for those days to get back there. But now being a new viewing area and all that kind of stuff, I can't wait for Lena-Winslow and Stockton next week and all that kind of stuff. So, and I started thinking about it this week. I'm looking forward to when you start watching and seeing like Kai Weinzerl play his last game at Geneseo and the end of that kind of things, like the postseason awards. I'm excited to see when everything's all said and done, kind of putting a bow on it and your guys' picks so that you can crown somebody and then get everybody else mad at you. That's the bad thing about those things, is when you crown one, then you have the haters come out with the other ones. So it's almost not worth it, but it's worth it because I enjoy listening to it. So yeah, and I can't wait for the show next week. I'm intrigued. I'll be probably going up to Iowa City early on Saturday morning, so I'll be able to tune in a little bit before whenever the Iowa plays and stuff. So yeah, that's about it from me.
That's a good tease ahead. Dazzo, you're invited back into the I believe you've been a part of the our postseason fantasy football draft. Were you in on that?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I know about it. I think I might have been early, but then like I think Mitch didn't like me back then, so he kicked me
Yeah,
out.
it's true.
And I think now that our bond is coming stronger, that maybe I can get back in it. Have we thought about going? Did we ever decide if we wanted to do maybe a post wrap at like we started the season at the other bar? Do we?
I would
end
say
the
that could be
season
a
at the other
work in
bar?
progress. Yeah, we could.
Like a
that's potential.
December Sunday or something like
Yeah.
that, or December Saturday, maybe a December Saturday night, so we can just, some of those coaches come down. I think everybody enjoy doing it, kind of putting a bow to the to the season. I'm just saying, we all have like a million kids on the top part of the screen. I don't know about the bottom part of the screen. I know the top part has like 12 between the three of us. So like any excuse you can to get out, like I'm in. So just a thought.
Yeah, no, I would say that's a work in progress. Yeah, we can talk through that for sure.
And it's just Diet Coke. There's no Bacardi in here, I promise.
Okay, sounds good.
I promise.
But you might need it after that Hawkeye game tonight.
Why do we got to talk about that? I already did a show with that. Kind of stuff. This is a high school football show. All right, move on.
Hey, who won that game, by the way?
All right, guys. I know that. Hey, I'm an unbiased member of the media. Wait, no, I'm not. I'm employed by Iowa now, so I can admit it. So
all right. Thanks, Daz.
All right,
We're going to get final thoughts from everybody else, but I know you got to be up early and you're reading at church tomorrow. Look at you, the responsible man you are.
Bless you, boys. Have a good night.
See you, Dazzo.
See you, Daz.
I think I honestly just blessed you guys.
You did.
You did.
You did, which I appreciate. That's nice.
Amen.
All right. Well, Logan, before we jump off here, your takeaways. You're still in game prep mode for one more week, for at least one more week. So that's exciting.
No, his goal, I'm sorry, I'm going to jump in real quick.
Yeah.
His goal is not to be in the broadcast booth with us at State.
Yes.
He's got to be on the sideline.
That's awesome. Yep, exactly.
Oh, we lost him.
Oh, no. Wait for it.
He'll come back.
Maybe.
He'll come back.
I think we're coming. Well, in the meantime, Shimdog, what are your takeaways from this quarterfinals?
Just happy to have another week of some local teams being around and being guaranteed a team at State this year.
Yeah. Had you ever caught a game in Byron before?
I had not. No, I haven't been to the high school in Byron since high school. So
there you go. Yeah, that was a great one to be at, man. That was
definitely.
Cool. Awesome. All right. I don't see Logan. Can you hear us? I don't know.
I heard Kyle and just left. Kyle was so rude.
Mitch, you have any?
I gotta pick one.
Yeah, Mitch, you have any takeaways here?
No, I mean, 1A is going to be a blast next week because you've got, obviously, we've talked all about, and we will continue to talk about Lena-Winslow, Stockton. And then on the south side, you've got a Brown County team who I believe has never been to State. So a lot to play for there, and getting that rematch with Calhoun. Yeah, no, just I think what's left here in the semifinals are really, really good matchups, despite not our teams being involved outside of 1A. Oh, I'm sorry, outside of 1A and outside of Byron. We lost some teams in 2A there, but just good matchups. That's what we want every playoffs. And when we are talking about State here a week from now as to who's going, I think we're going to be talking about 4 really good matchups there on Friday that will be there in person for, and we'll be able to discuss more about what our coverage looks like for that day, because very excited to spend that day with you boys. And again, I think we're going to have some good games to be a part of. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off that and say that I'm excited to get back to Normal, Illinois and Hancock Stadium. And the way the bracket is shaping up, I think we're going to see some great games, and I'm excited for the coverage.
Well, it's nice to know we'll have at least one in 1A.
Yep.
And then I think we'll have 2, because I think Byron's going to get in. So that'll make for that day
awesome.
Just a fully fun day. Our show, Logan's content, Kyle's show. We talk a big game about being the best the best coverage for small school here in the state, and I think we're going to show it on that Friday.
Well, there you go. That's the segue to Kyle. Actually, I should mention that Logan says he can hear us. He can't say anything, but his takeaway is he's glad to still be going on.
He's speechless. Kyle left him speechless.
Yeah.
My bad, Logan.
And hey, the old mantra, survive and advance. That's exactly what his Hardin Calhoun team is doing. So good luck to them and Logan. And like you said, I hope he's on the sidelines coaching. And that means he can't be with us because that would be the ultimate, for him. So, Kyle, takeaways from the quarters moving into the semis.
Well, I think, like I said, 1A North, 1A South, both went the way we thought. Wilmington handled their business as we expected. El Paso Gridley has definitely lived up to the hype. Down south, Maroa Forsyth is definitely proven to be the major player once again, and fully anticipate seeing Coach Jostis back at the state championship for what seems like an annual tradition for him and the Trojans, but which is awesome to see. And 3A, the South part, we talked about it already. The Illini Prairie Conference getting 2 representatives back in the semifinals. Can St. Joe Ogden have the game and build up like Monticello did when they got a rematch with Tolono Unity? I don't know. Tolono Unity has been my favorite since the brackets released and we saw BCC going in the north part. Up north, it's Byron and Richmond Burton, and it's the game that we were really, a lot of people were hoping to see. Is Byron the team that we think they are, and can Richmond Burton be the stopgap? And it just leads to a great opportunity for both teams. Obviously, Byron's definitely going to be the favorite going into that one, the heavy hitter by everybody's standards. So it's going to be great to see. Not surprised that Byron won, going back to what Coach Boyer was on earlier. There was definitely things that, like Matt Now was saying when he was on too, where during that Bishop McNamara IC game, there was a lot of holes in that IC defense that I could see where Byron would definitely attack and have success doing, and they proved it there. So going to be a ton of fun for sure. And I'm excited for the coverage. I'm excited to catch up with you guys at state. This is going to be a blast. And like you said, something that we're going to be doing new and living up to why all these people watch us every week. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. We will be there all day on that Friday covering the 1A through the 4A state championship games. I can't wait. I know, Kyle, next week you're going to do great coverage in Monmouth on Friday. I got to figure out exactly what my schedule looks like. I'm hoping to be there. I can't get off of work on Fridays. It's a little tricky, but I'm hoping to be there Friday in Monmouth. Either way, I will definitely be there Saturday in Stockton. So count me in for that. I'm really excited for that, and just the opportunity to spotlight that game between Lena-Winslow and Stockton that I think really deserves a spotlight. And Kyle, it's kind of a full circle moment for us because both of us covered the Lee-Win Stockton game. What was that, 2012?
Yeah.
Wow, look at and that was a Stockton win, correct?
Oh yeah. Stockton was laying the wood.
Yep. So back at John.
That was a quarterfinal game. That was a quarterfinal game, not a semi-final game. But yes, but what it feels like, we didn't know each other back then. We were both there. We probably ran into each other and didn't even know it. But no, you started stalking me when you're still running news out of Quad Cities.
No, what really happened is I wanted to tune in every week and see how you were going to discount and disband of Ottawa Marquette, and you couldn't care less. And then every week I hated to listen to you because I was hoping that you'd be wrong. And a couple of those times you were wrong, so that was fun. I liked that part.
Yeah, you got through my Dakota Indians, and then you got Stockton the one year that I wasn't expecting, and
yep.
I said, well, wait till you meet Forston.
And proved to be a tough challenge. So that, but hey, it leads us all to here, to right now, and it's amazing. So I love it.
Hey, I think Hitter's still out there watching. He would have called it the NUIC kill us.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Absolutely. That is 100%, 1,000% why I was tuning into you back in the day. Because I was like, I gotta see what he says about Marquette and how I can get mad about it because I think he's wrong. So
Well, Logan touched base on it before too. He started watching me too, and he thought I was nuts when I said that Forston was going to roll over CPC back in 2018. And what happened? Oh, that's right, it was a clock.
Oh man, I get it. I love the NUIC, but I get why people get agitated, man. I get it. I've been on the other side, so.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, back in 2016, 17, and 18, we were definitely a lot more rough around it than what we are these days. We lightened up a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. All right, boys. Well, hey, Shim, again, I appreciate. Actually, you know what? I've been meaning to mention this. Shim and Mitch, we're going to call this on the fly right now. Shim, I noticed the other day on X, your bio is there's nothing written in there. So I'm calling it on the fly right now. I think it's time you update your bio, and it's contributor to View from the West.
We can make that happen. Definitely.
I think it's got to happen. Mitch, am I right?
Oh yeah, I mean it's kind of an OG thing though to keep it blank. I mean, let the people know. You don't have to tell them; they just got to find out.
That's true. I just feel like for as much
well, they
as
can't find out if my account's locked. So
that's true. That's true.
Did you have that? Did you have that today? I didn't
nope,
see it get
nope,
locked.
nope. Byron
Perfect.
didn't score enough.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, so I think let's get. If you want to, make it official, make the, contributor to View from the West podcast in that bio. I think, how many followers have you gained in the last, 9 weeks? 7, 8 weeks?
Let's actually, give me 1 second. I think we can pull this up.
I love it.
He's got a lot.
Yeah.
He's getting up there.
Speaking of, Greg, I just looked. Our YouTube's up to 830.
Yeah, how about that, man? I just had somebody
big
today.
jump in the last week.
Somebody today in Anawan Weathersfield, the Lena-Winslow fan said somebody, hey, I just subscribed to your YouTube channel today. And I said, I love it. I appreciate that. Also, Mitch.
Hey, you're up to 630 right now, Shim. I don't know where you started, but you're at 630.
This morning I was in like the 580s because I was like, oh, we can get to like 600 by state. So we got at least 40 today, apparently.
Love it. I love it. Well deserved, man. You've been putting in the work. It's awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
You
Thank
come
you.
spend the day with us at state, you'll have over 1,000 guaranteed.
Oh.
Hey, and last thing before we wrap up, Mitch, I had a guy from Lena-Winslow today say, so if you're here, where's Mitch at today? And I said, well, he's in Ohio. So
yeah, we're all in different states.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Especially right now.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. So he didn't know.
God,
he didn't
God
know.
bless technology.
Yep. And I said, I said, honestly, it works out great for us because I can go to games, walk the sideline, and I can jump in. And Mitch has been watching 10 games on NFHS Network, so it's beautiful.
Look, I'm gonna end on this. Okay.
Uh-oh.
That network sucks.
Oh,
it's so bad. It's so bad. Like,
is that supposed to be breaking news? Or?
And I know there are people in the chat that are going to agree with me. The feeds are bad, and you can't see it, and the sun's in your eyes, and it's a bad filter, and you can't see a blurry scoreboard. And I get it that schools are just putting these cameras up. I totally understand it. There are good NFHS feeds out there, but just shout out to those that are on YouTube that have your announcers. It's such a blessing. Like today, couldn't see the Lena game for anything. It was like I was looking into the sun, and I had to text Kyle to get the radio broadcast, and that was so much better. So
yeah,
it's difficult to navigate. It doesn't work. I'm out on it. I'm done.
By the way, Mitch, I was talking to Aiden Wild earlier tonight, and if Hitter's still out there, we got to say his name the right way. It's Aiden Wild.
There you go.
But
probably won't do that, but I appreciate the effort.
No, but the radio guy had him at like 176 yards on like 17 carries. He was at 20 carries for like 262 yards.
I was watching Greg's highlights, and I'm like, damn, he's probably way over that. Oh,
Yeah.
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 No, he was.
He had himself a day.
Yep. He was getting the job done, no doubt about it. So.
Oh, by the way, he did surpass 3,000 yards in his career today. He only needed 23 going in a day, so he definitely got that and more.
I wonder how many teams, either present or like in history, have had 3,000 yard rushers on their team at the same time.
Wow. Yeah.
It can't be many.
There's not many. No.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, boys. I appreciate the efforts. I appreciate you jumping on, talking some high school football with us. Of course, thank you to Jeff Boyer, head coach at Byron, for jumping in, and Sean Downey from Stockton for jumping in. Rick Aaron, I wish we could have got him on the pod, but I respect the need for sleep. I'm all good on that. I'm all good. I want to make sure people know that we weren't favoring one team or the other. We invited both in. So anyway,
he'll catch up with us. He'll catch up with us.
Yep. So, well, hey guys, I really appreciate it. And Mitch, the next time we talk, we're going to be talking some semifinal and the 8-man state championship game. And it's getting very real because we're right there. I mean, it's the end of the season, but it's also like, it's the best matchups. It's the best games. Yep. It's the most intriguing talk we have. So here we are.
Well, I mean, at this time next week, we'll be previewing 11-man, not fully previewing, but we'll be talking about state championships, and that's awesome. That's fun.
Well, brush up on your uniforms, Mitch, because we're going to be breaking down the uniform matchups that week as well.
I'm already prepping. I'm already ready.
Just remember, the North are the road teams this year.
That's right. So the North teams, the North bracket, will be wearing white. There we go. That's always great insight.
How's it work for 7 and 8A?
Is it the teams on the top?
Is it always the top seed is home?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Awesome. Well, hey, thank you to everyone who listens. Thank you to everyone who subscribes to keep that number growing. Thank you to everyone who follows along and follows Shim on X. Keep his account growing because he's killing it out there. So we'll be keeping you informed and entertained over the next couple weeks. We got a lot of exciting football to talk about. So Mitch, we'll be back in and we'll be talking on Tuesday morning to the people. So until then,